We're always ready. Always ready.
Oh, are we going on? Oh, maybe. Live from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive CUNYAC Conference men's soccer coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon in their final regular season conference game, the College of Staten Island will take on John Jay with something on the line as the College of Staten Island looking to maintain their number 4 seed, but they could drop down as low as number 5. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babusky along with Joe Foreman as the College of Staten Island gets ready to complete their CUNYAC regular season here this afternoon. And, Joe, it's been a big change for the CSI Dolphins and, you know, expectations really not met this year. This is a CSI team that started out 8-1 overall, Joe, had an 8-game winning streak after dropping their opening game of the season, including 3-0 in the CUNYAC Conference. But since then, just 1-4-1 overall, 1-3 in conference play.
And it has been very disappointing since that 8-1 start for the Dolphins in a season, as you mentioned, was a season that the Dolphins had very high expectations. And the Dolphins really had a chance to turn things around. They lost 3 consecutive games spanning from September 25th through September 30th against Rutgers, Newark, Baruch, and Brooklyn College. But then they picked up a victory over Hunter and a tie at Stevens Institute. They then had a chance to come home and pick up a big conference win over the Lightning of Lehman College this past weekend. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do so.
And, you know, Joe, soccer is such a close game and goals is such a huge event. And, you know, you can really see that looking at the Dolphins in their last 6 games. They started off losing to the number 11 team in the country, but in the Baruch game, a back-and-forth game, a game the Dolphins certainly had plenty of opportunities to win. They end up losing that one by a final score of 4-3. On the road at Randall's Island. Then they go to Brooklyn College. They come back and tie that game up at 1, but they allow a late goal off of a free kick that was allowed to go right through the wall, and that was the difference in that game. So they drop a second consecutive 1-goal game, 2-1. Then after the win against Hunter and the very strong tie against Stevens, they come back in a game that we had for you right here on CSI Sportsnet this Saturday afternoon and really drop a heartbreaking 1-0 loss to Lehman College. So all 3 of those games, Joe, all 3 losses against all teams that are currently in front of them, all by a single goal, and all games that the Dolphins had plenty of opportunities to score, but just too often don't find the net.
Any defeat is disappointing, especially defeats by 1 goal. As you mentioned, the Dolphins have had several of those, but you look at that loss to the Lightning of Lehman College this past weekend, and I mentioned it the day that game was played. The Dolphins outshot the Lightning 22-8, but only 5 shots on goal to 3. For the Lightning, the Dolphins simply failed to make the most of their opportunities. A lot of very long shots taken in that game. Didn't have too many quality chances from in the penalty area, though the game did end with a very high quality chance, a header attempt. I can't quite recall who it was who got a head on that for the Dolphins at the end of the game, but I believe it may have been off of a corner kick or a free kick. I think it was a corner, Mike, and the Dolphins had a great opportunity off a headed attempt toward goal. It crossed in front of the goal mouth and out of play over the touchline, and that brought regulation to an end, and the Dolphins unfortunately suffered a 1-0 defeat. Still a pair of games left to go here in October before the end of the regular season and the start of the CUNYAC tournament. The Dolphins will have a chance to take some positive momentum into that tournament, and they'd love to get that started with a conference win over the Bloodhounds today.
So, Joe, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming CUNYAC tournament. The Dolphins will be playing in the quarterfinal game and there is a question as to whether or not they will have a home game. Lehman will go into the conference as the number 1 seed. They've already clinched that, so they'll have a bye in the first round, as will John Jay. Brooklyn College, I'm not sure if they've clinched the number 3 position, or if they lose, whether they could still be swept out of it. But College of Staten Island, Joe, is locked into number 4 or 5 with Baruch College. If Baruch College wins, then nothing the Dolphins can do will make them better than number 4. If Baruch should lose or tie and the Dolphins win here this afternoon, the Dolphins will go into the tournament as the number 1 seed. The way the games break out, number 3 will play number 6. So if Brooklyn holds on to their position, they will play Hunter College, most likely, in the quarterfinals, and that game will take place at Brooklyn College. If CSI is able to edge their way ahead of Baruch, they might get a home game. But like we mentioned, Joe, Baruch and Baruch controls their own destiny, and Baruch is playing York College here today. So if Baruch is able to hold serve and beat a York College team that hasn't won in the conference and only has 1 win overall, then Baruch will lock up the number 4 seed, and that will mean that the College of Staten Island will have to go on the road for a quarterfinal game next week. And boy, oh boy, just a couple of weeks ago, Joe, who would have thought that could even be possible?
Yeah, we never would have thought the Dolphins would find themselves in this position. Again, you mentioned that 8-1 start. The season was off to a very promising start after a bit of a disappointing loss to Wisconsin-Platteville, but the Dolphins put that loss behind them quickly, rattled off 8 straight victories. But since then, it's been a bit of a struggle for the Dolphins, and I think you laid out those scenarios pretty well, Mike. I'm not sure I can add much to that, but you look at it, what you mentioned, the game, I believe you said between Baruch and York today, and as well as this game between Staten Island and John Jay, we'll have a much clearer picture of where those CUNYAC conference standings are going to shape up once action comes to an end today. The Dolphins can only do their part and pick up a victory here today over a Bloodhounds team that they certainly can't look past.
Yeah, Joe, as we're getting closer to the start of the game here this afternoon, the College of Staten Island getting ready to face John Jay. And, John Jay's had a very strong year. This year they're 6-1. They've locked up the number 2 seed, and you could see the confidence that they're playing with, and a late substitution in goal for John Jay here this afternoon, as they're going to put the freshman Stephen Towler in goal for the Bloodhounds. So again, an opportunity for John Jay to come into the CSI soccer complex, no pressure on them at all, and play Towler, who's going to get his 3rd start of the year here tonight.
And in 2 starts so far this season, Towler has allowed 4 goals. Of course, he has appeared more games than just those 2 starts. He started 2 games and appeared in 5 for a total of approximately 183.5 minutes. His goal allowed average is just a shade under 2. He's saved 15 shots this season to a save percentage of about 79%. Those 15 saves have come on 34 shots faced for Towler so far in 2017. The Dolphins all season long have done a good job keeping pressure on the opposing goalkeeper. They've rattled off a lot of shots so far this season, outshot the opposition 273 to 158 so far in the 2017 campaign. Unfortunately, as of late, a lot of those shots haven't found the mark and resulted in quality chances on goal.
So, Joe, we're just a couple of minutes or so before the start of today's game, so why don't we get the starting lineups for this afternoon's game and get you ready for the start upcoming.
First, for the John Jay College Bloodhounds, in numerical order, we mentioned in goal will be 0, Stephen Towler. Then the rest of the starters for John Jay are number 2, Bryant Silva, number 4, Nicholas Towler, number 7, Christian Yergiles, number 14, Julian Russell, number 15, Mark Schnadstein, number 19, Alexis Bustillo, number 20, Ali Jahin, number 21, Robert Lago, number 24, Oscar Barrientos, and number 27, James Haddad. For the Dolphins, in goal will be number 30, Balin Barabas. Number 5, Joel Morales begins the position players for the Dolphins. Number 6, Danny Nika. Number 10, Ali Fairs. Number 11, Ryan Lehman. Number 12, Bryant Navarro. Number 16, Vasil Fedorzi. Number 17, Wilson Quintero. Number 21, Eric Condi. Number 23, Mike Arianis. And number 27, Miguel Morales.
So we have the starters for this afternoon's game. The College of Staten Island trying to break a 2-game scoreless streak as they have not been able to register a goal in their last couple of contests. So as the players get introduced out on the field, why don't we step aside, take a break, and we'll be back after the national anthem to get you ready for the start of this afternoon's game as you're watching men's soccer coverage exclusively on your voice for everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hi. May I please have an application?
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's game between the College of Staten Island and the John Jay Bloodhounds. CSI coming in with a 9-5-1 record overall, 4-3 in the conference. Need this game today, Joe, to finish above 500 in the conference and at least give themselves an opportunity to get that number 4 spot and the home game.
And we mentioned it in the pregame, Mike. If they're going to pick up a victory here, conference victory, and carry some positive momentum into the CUNYAC tournament, it begins with making the most of their opportunities. I mentioned the 22 shots, only 5 on goal against the Lightning this past weekend. The Dolphins will certainly have to be better than that here today against the Bloodhounds if they're going to pick up the victory. We mentioned the prowess of Lehman College in the conference, unbeaten in the CUNYAC conference in 2017. The Bloodhounds, though, are 6-1 with their only loss coming at the hands of the Lightning, and like the Dolphins, it was a 1-0 defeat for John Jay against Lehman as well.
So a nice sunny afternoon here this afternoon. A nice day for soccer, a little warm, temperature right up around 70 degrees, and a big change in the weather from the last couple of days where it's been pretty chilly. So it should be a nice day for soccer here this afternoon. And for the College of Staten Island, Joe, like you mentioned before, just looking to get some positive momentum and really try to get on the scoreboard.
And there was some strong attacking play by the Dolphins in that game against the Lightning. It certainly wasn't for a lack of opportunities that they found themselves not scoring a goal. They need to make the most of those chances, but their movement of the ball and progression on the attack was good in that game. We'll see if they can replicate that effort here today.
So we're underway here as John Jay will go from left to right in the first half. CSI will go from right to left as the Bloodhounds with the first possession of the ball back in their own part of midfield as the first attack is now underway for the Bloodhounds, and the Bloodhounds led by Mark Shatterstein. And Shatterstein, one of the better goal scorers, Joe, in the CUNYAC Conference.
Yeah, I believe he comes into the day with 10 goals so far on the 2017 season. We saw a premier goal scorer for Lehman College as well. His name escapes me at the moment. I can pull that up. But a pair of elite CUNYAC goal scorers the Dolphins will face over the last couple of games.
Yeah, so the Bloodhounds with possession of the ball here as they look to break the ball in toward the top of the penalty box and now play the ball out onto the far side of the field. So the Bloodhounds have been able to control possession here early as the first pass is going to be rolled inside and knocked out of bounds. And, Joe, the Dolphins forced to give away a corner just over a minute into the game.
And that's certainly not the way you want to start. And just to make sure I give credit where it's due, it was Saul Alzabidi who was the leading goal scorer for the Lightning that I just referred to.
Yeah, Alzabidi played a very strong game for the Lightning as the Bloodhounds now off the corner get a nice one to go into the center of the penalty area. The Dolphins once again forced to clear it out and play the ball out of bounds. And, Joe, we're just about 90 seconds or so into the game here this afternoon, but Bloodhounds coming out and really starting out strong here this afternoon.
Keeping some pressure off their freshman goalkeeper are the Bloodhounds early in this game, quickly moving the ball into the attacking third. The Dolphins conceded that corner. The Dolphins will now look to move forward on the attack.
So Condi's pass is going to be a little bit too far for Nika and go out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in here for the Bloodhounds as the Bloodhounds coming out, putting pressure on the Dolphins, Joe, and the Dolphins a little bit off in their passing here in the first couple of minutes.
And that pass was certainly off the mark. You have to think the Dolphins will be better than that, passing the ball as they have been all season long. So we'll see if they can get possession back here, as it will be a throw-in for the Bloodhounds.
So it's going to be Barentos to take the throw-in.
Oh, it's a free kick, Mike, my mistake.
So it'll actually be a free kick. So Barentos is going to come up and take it, and Bloodhounds going to put about 6 or 7 players into the penalty area and look to feed it out in front. So here we go, as that ball is set it right in front and headed away nicely, as that was Nika that came back to head the ball away. But once again, Dolphins unable to clear, but the pass forward is going to be played, and Barabbas will play the ball away now for the Dolphins. Condi, this time successfully hits up with Nika, and the Dolphins have their first possession of the afternoon inside of Bloodhound territory. Dolphins play the ball out onto the far side of the field now as they build up the attack. Morales plays the ball forward as the ball's going to be skied up in front now, and coming off his line is Trowler. So the Dolphins test the freshman goalie early.
And Stephen Tyler did a nice job to meet that ball in the air, as it was destined for the head of Danny Nika, who came in along the far post. But Tyler did a nice job to snag that ball out of danger as that one travels over the near sideline.
So we're waiting for a ball to come back into play. And it will be the I guess it's going to be a free kick coming up here. Yes, it will be for the Bloodhounds. Just underway here, 3.5 minutes into this first half. No score between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds as the Dolphins look to find a way to get back on the scoreboard as they have been held scoreless in the last 2 games. Bloodhounds, a bad pass, and that's going to be stolen away by Fedorzi. Now the Dolphins going to work the ball out on the far side. That's Arianis. He tried to play the ball in front, but Nicholas Taller, will be there to play the ball away. So I'm going to assume Nicholas and Steven are brothers. And one's in goal and one's playing defensively for the Bloodhounds here this afternoon. Fairs with the ball. Dolphins look to get the ball inside. They were looking for Navarro, but that's going to be knocked away. And it'll be another opportunity here for the Dolphins.
And a pair of nice plays by Mike Arianis. Mike first on the cross, attempting to set up Nika, and there dribbling into the penalty area before he was dispossessed, almost creating another opportunity for the Dolphins.
So Fairs will come in to throw the ball in. He looked to get the ball inside to Fedorzi. It goes over his head, and a nice bicycle kick that time, but the save made by Taller.
And that's the second consecutive game where we've seen a bicycle kick attempt by a Dolphins player. Last game, it was Adrian Kosovic against the Lightning there. Mike Arianis attempts the bicycle.
So a shot on goal for the Dolphins, and a save made as now the Dolphins look to continue the attack, and the Bloodhounds will play the ball out to midfield where Condi will be there to head it down to Morales. Ball goes through Morales, and now the Bloodhounds looking to play the ball on the far side of the field, but Fairs is able to come away with it, get it back to Morales. Now Quintero with the ball. Quintero, a bad turnover in midfield, and that's going to get the Bloodhounds on a counterattack, but a nice defensive play by the Dolphins to slow things down, I should say, and knock the ball out of bounds. Bloodhounds throw the ball in on the far side of the field, and now it's Morales. Morales throwing the ball over to Fairs, but a nice turnover in the defensive zone, and Fairs will get called for the foul, and that'll be Barrentos once again, Joe, that made a nice play. And Fairs takes him down from behind, and another set-piece opportunity for the Bloodhounds. And they should be able to get this one well inside the penalty area, Joe.
They should, Mike, and already a pair of opportunities for the Lightning, one on a free kick and one on a corner. They'll have a second free kick opportunity right here. They played the ball into the penalty area off of the previous free kick, headed away by the Dolphins. We'll see where they look to play this ball.
Ball's going to be played forward towards goal, and it'll be knocked out of bounds. So a long shot opportunity that time, and well wide, as once again that was Oscar Barrentos taking the free kick opportunity there for the Bloodhounds, but not much there on that one, Joe.
No, not much there on that one. That's a tough free kick to put into the back of the net. It traveled well wide, and it wasn't very high off the turf either, so it would have been an easy play for Barbas had he been able to get there, but didn't need to as it was well wide.
Bastilio plays the ball in midfield now, over to Barrentos, and now he's going to play the ball in towards the box, but Barabbas is there to make the play on the ball for the Dolphins. We've just completed the 7th minute here in this opening half. No score between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds, as the ball is skied up in the air, and Russo is there to play the ball away for the Bloodhounds. He looks to get the ball up to Jahin, but the ball's going to be knocked away and played now by the Bloodhounds as they look to build up the attack in midfield. Nice-looking play as that's Lago. Lago, a beautiful feed through as he gets the ball up over to Schottenstein. He rolls the ball across the goal mouth, and the Dolphins very fortunate on that play, Joe.
And an interesting choice there by Mark Schnatzstein to take that ball wide. I'm not sure if he was pressured into doing so by a Dolphin. Tough to read the angles of the defensive players from here, but Schnatzstein took that shot from well wide of the right post and put it across the goal mouth just wide of the far post. The Dolphins catch a break there after that ball put Schnatzstein through, the leading goal scorer for the Bloodhounds, with a big opportunity for John Jay early in this first half.
Yeah, I thought that time Mark might have tried to just blow one right in on goal. Instead, he kind of moved the ball across, and now the Dolphins look to counterattack quickly as Navarro puts pressure on the Bloodhound defense, and now it's going to be a throw-in as Condi will come up and take the throw-in here for the Dolphins. Fairs back up over to Condi. Condi now over to Nika. Nika played by a couple of Bloodhounds. Nice play to move the ball towards goal and draw the throw-in. So Condi once again will come up to throw the ball in for the Dolphins as he looks to get the ball up to Fedorzi. Fedorzi, nice play over to Fairs. Fairs gets the ball back to Nika. Nika looked to put the ball inside, but a nice play by the Bloodhounds to clear that ball over to the side and keep the ball in bounds. But Condi regains possession for the Dolphins over to Fairs, and Fairs draws the foul, and now an opportunity, Joe, for the Dolphins.
We've already seen a pair of free kicks for the Bloodhounds. The Dolphins will now have one of their own, and again, we'll get to see how the Dolphins look to play this free kick, as we've already seen the Bloodhounds put a pair of free kicks into the box.
So it'll be Ryan Lehman coming over to take the free kick here for the Dolphins. Lehman looks to play the ball inside. He looks to get the ball to Nico, who looked to knock the ball on goal, but Tyler is right there to make the save.
That was set up very nicely by the Dolphins, right onto the foot of Danny Nika. Very precise free kick there by Ryan Lehman, taken right into the center of the penalty area. Nika just came up empty on the shot attempt, didn't get all of the ball, and it trickled right into the arms of Stephen Tower.
Russo looks to play the ball away. Instead, it'll be Arianas there to come away with the ball for the Dolphins. Arianas feeding it back to midfield. Now it's Morales. Morales feeding the ball into the center of the box, but heading it away is Jahin for the Bloodhounds. Here come the Bloodhounds looking to counterattack quickly, and we've seen that a couple of times, Joe, the Bloodhounds going quickly from defense to offense, as have the Dolphins, both teams looking to counterattack quickly.
And we've seen a pair of costly turnovers around midfield, I believe one by each team thus far, that sent the opposition back in the other direction on the attack, as the Bloodhounds look to get the attack going quickly once again.
So this time Shadstein is going to pick up the foul, and the Dolphins will have the free kick. Played over to Nika. Nika now gets the ball back up over to Condi, who rolls it back to Fairs, who brings the ball back onto the near sideline, over to Morales. Morales quickly blanketed that time by Haddad, and the Bloodhounds come away with the ball. Haddad feeding it over to Jahin. Jahin looking to get it up to Shadstein, but instead Lehman there to play it away for the Dolphins and get the ball up over to Morales. Arianas able to get his way past one Bloodhound defender. Arianas playing the ball forward, but it's going to be headed back by Barrentos. Now Morales in midfield to Quintero, over to Morales, to Navarro as the Dolphins string together a series of passes. Arianas will be taken down from behind. No foul on the play as Barrentos plays it over to Shadstein. Shadstein over to Lago. Circles back, and now the Bloodhounds look to set up the offense, and Morales will get called for the handball, so it'll be another free kick here for the Bloodhounds.
A lot of back and forth action there in the middle third of the field, Mike. The teams exchanging possession prior to that foul call. Free kick upcoming for the Bloodhounds.
Ball's going to be rolled onto the near side to Russo. Russo playing the ball forward now to Jahin. Jahin pressured by Navarro, and now Nika able to come away and knock the ball away. Good play by the Dolphins, but the Bloodhounds recover and now look to attack once again. Fairs feeds it over to Nika, but it's going to be Erglis that comes away with the ball momentarily for the Bloodhounds. Now Nika in midfield. Nika looking to chip the ball forward, looking to get it to Navarro, but Towler comes off his line quickly and skies the ball back into the Dolphin side of the field. Shadstein trying to break his way through. Barabas has to come all the way out of the net quickly and play that ball away. So you see Shadstein's speed there. Nice play by Barabas in goal.
Yeah, and Barabas did a good job there, quickly getting off his line and clearing that one out of danger, as it was Shadstein threatening around the penalty area once again for the Bloodhounds.
Bloodhounds play it into the box, but it'll roll all the way on goal, and now it'll be played out onto the near side to Nika as the Dolphins look to counterattack. Nika, beautiful feed to Fairs. The Dolphins are in with some numbers. Fairs inside the penalty area. Now the Bloodhounds able to get back. Fairs looking to work his way inside, still with possession. Now feeds the ball up over to Nika. Nika rolling it over to Arianas. He feeds Morales, but Morales' shot is going to go up over the top. So another opportunity for the Dolphins, but that shot goes wide.
And that opportunity got started by Balint Barabas, rolling that ball aggressively up the near sideline. Did well there as we get another look at that shot earlier by Mark Schnadstein going wide left. He was pressured into taking that shot a bit wide. It looked like Joel Morales, though it was tough for me to see there on the monitor through my sunglasses. Still, a good defensive play by the Dolphins, forcing Schnadstein a bit wide, and then on the counter, the Dolphins come up with an opportunity, the shot high and wide by Joel Morales.
Yeah, so Morales not able to put that shot on net, and we've said that a lot, Joe. This year with the Dolphins, that's Morales' 14th shot of the season, just 3 on goal, and he scored on one of those 3 shots in 2017. Ball's going to get played forward to Fedorzi. He winds and fires and puts that one over the top. So another shot opportunity, Joe, but Fedorzi got under that one and put it over the crossbar.
And those shots reminiscent of the type of shots we saw this weekend against Lehman College, opportunities that went high and wide and weren't close. That one missing well high, the previous shot missing well high and wide. So the Dolphins will need to do better with their quality chances, though those aren't necessarily high-quality chances. Still a scoring opportunity for CSI that goes by the wayside.
So the ball is going to get played inside. Navarro charges it, but a nice defensive job that time, Joe, shielding off Navarro, and it'll be Taylor able to come out and make the play.
And Bryant Navarro was making a threatening run there. Had he gotten to that ball before the defender or the goalkeeper Towler, it might have been trouble, but a nice job there by Towler to come out and scoop that ball up.
Morales plays it out over to Quintero. Quintero with some speed and room on the far side of the field. Now he rolls it down to Arianes. Arianes feeds it inside to Navarro, but he's unable to play the ball as it was deflected away by the defense. Now Morales. Morales looks to step inside one Bloodhound, can't step inside the second, and John Jay able to come away with the ball, as that's going to be Lago. Lago feeding it out to the far side. Now it's Schnadstein. Schnadstein onside, but surrounded by a couple of Dolphins. The ball is going to be knocked out of bounds, and it looks like it will be a throw-in for the Bloodhounds. Nice defensive play by the Dolphins that time, Joe, to avoid the corner kick.
And the Bloodhounds got out on the attack very quickly there after the Dolphins declined to take a shot on goal from a bit outside the penalty area, but good position, centered and with momentum behind the ball. Had Joel Morales, he decided not to fire a shot on goal after previously firing one from a further distance and wider of net. And instead, the Dolphins turn it over, resulting in a near opportunity for Mark Schnadstein.
So first the Bloodhounds throw the ball in, commit a violation. The Dolphins get the throw in. They commit a throw in violation. And now the Bloodhounds will have an opportunity to throw the ball in once again. Not sure what happened there. And then I don't know, Joe, that I've ever seen 3 throw-in violations called in a row, but we just did. And the Dolphins end up throwing the ball in. And the Bloodhounds play it back toward the Dolphin side of the field. Pretty even first half here, Joe. A couple of chances for both teams. No score, Dolphins and Bloodhounds.
And much like the early portion of the first half on Saturday, Mike, that was a very back-and-forth game as well. Opportunities for both sides. Of course, it was the Dolphins who had more shots, but it was Lehman that came away with the lone goal, and that's all that matters. We'll see if the Dolphins can get on the scoreboard. As you mentioned, they've been shut out in back-to-back games.
Dolphins trying to play the ball forward, and that time it's Barrentos shielding Faz off the ball, and it's Faz that's going to get called for the foul as the Bloodhounds play the ball in quickly for the shot that's going to go over the top. So nice idea that time by the Bloodhounds, but the shot over the crossbar. They played the ball in quickly as opposed to trying to play it inside the box and put the shot over the top.
That shot for the Bloodhounds, their second of this first half. The Dolphins leading in shots, 4-2 the Dolphins with the lone shot on goal so far.
So that ball will be played forward by the Dolphins off the free kick, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul as that time Robert Lago just basically shoved the Dolphin player down right in front of the official and gets called for the foul.
So the Dolphins will go from a goal kick opportunity to a free kick opportunity just beyond midfield. Looks like it will be Ryan Lehman to take the free kick for CSI once again.
Final regular season game here for both teams. The Bloodhounds have locked in the number 2 seed and an automatic first-round bye. The Dolphins trying to keep themselves alive for a number 4 seed. Need a win today and Baruch College to not win in order to really have any opportunity, as Dolphins get a corner kick, and it'll be Morales to take the corner for the Dolphins. Good-looking corner toward the far post, but nothing but blue shirts there to head the ball back towards midfield. Haddad with the ball out on the far sideline. Haddad looking to walk the ball back, but instead it's going to be stolen away by Navarro. Navarro, a beautiful feed in front to Nika. He gets his head on the ball, but it goes wide of the net.
And nicely done by the Dolphins to quickly make that turnover result in an opportunity for them, as that cross was a good one. Danny Nika directly in the center of the box, got a head on it. The header attempt goes wide, goal kick upcoming for the Bloodhounds, but nicely done on a quick counterattack by the Dolphins.
So Tala will take the free kick here for the Bloodhounds as the ball's played in midfield, headed down by Morales, but it's going to be played now by Bastilio. Bastilio playing the ball out onto the far side of the field. As that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Once again, that was Arianas coming back and making the defensive play, and the Bloodhounds will have an opportunity to throw the ball in. Barrentos with the ball. Barrentos looking at with a give and go, but the flag is up, and I believe, Joe, we're going to have our first offsides of the afternoon.
And we will. That is the first offsides for either team here in this first half. It will go against John Jay.
So we have an opportunity to take a look at that Dolphin opportunity to Danny Nika. The ball went off his head and just wide on the play. Good defensive play by the Bloodhounds too, Joe. Just got enough of Danny's body to knock that header wide.
They did. Nika was moving in the opposite direction that he directed that header. He was moving from left to right, and that ball was directed from right to left. So a more difficult header with that body positioning, plus the challenge by the Bloodhounds defender, made it far from an easy opportunity for Nika, but still a quality chance for the Dolphins.
So our first substitution here in the first half. Sambadang Faye will come into the game, the sophomore from Segal, and he will replace Robert Lago. So first substitution of the game, Joe, for either team. Bloodhounds throw the ball in, and they'll look to build up the attack once again as the ball will be knocked out of bounds. Once again, a throw-in for the Bloodhounds. Dolphins will finish the regular season at home here at the CSI Soccer Complex this Saturday afternoon, 12 p.m. start, Acadia University, non-conference game, as the Dolphins looking to build up some momentum and get into the CUNYAC tournament. Hopefully, Joe, with a couple of consecutive wins under their belt, regardless of how they affect the seeding.
And the Dolphins would love to wrap up the season with a pair of wins. And I think at this point, Mike, those victories are much needed. We've mentioned the struggles of the Dolphins in the latter half of this season on many occasions already in the pregame. And hopefully for CSI, they can finish the season strong. You always love to finish the season strong and head into the CUNYAC tournament with momentum. But we saw women's basketball with a lackluster finish last year and then go on to win the tournament.
As the ball is going to be played in towards the box, and Tala bobbles the ball, but he's able to get on top of it, Joe, and make the play.
And nicely done once again by Tala. But I think my point there, as the attacking play cut me short a bit, is that momentum isn't everything, and your performance in the tournament is what matters. We've seen that on several occasions, and the Dolphins could very well go into that tournament, play extremely well, and come away CUNYAC champions, as they would love to do.
And, you know, Joe, the thing about the Dolphins and the way they've played this year, they could legitimately point to each conference loss and say, if not for this or that, we could be right there. So, you know, it's not like they've gotten blown out in any of these games. All three games, one-goal decisions.
No, they've certainly been competitive in those conference losses. We mentioned a trio of one-goal losses in the pregame as well as the Bloodhounds progress on the attack.
So the Bloodhounds look to attack, but instead it'll be a nice defensive play by Lehman to come away with the ball and feed the ball up to Fedorzi. Fedorzi over to Nika. Nika, a long ball down the sidelines. He was looking for Navarro, but Navarro got ahead of the play, and for the first time this afternoon, the Dolphins get called for the offsides.
And Steven Taller was right on top of that one as well. I'm not sure Bryant Navarro could have beaten Taller to the ball regardless, but the offsides call will bring that attacking play to an end. Free kick upcoming for John Jay.
Free kick upcoming, as it's going to be played into the center of the field, and it's going to be scooped up there by Barabbas. Dolphins looking to attack forward now as it's Fairs with the ball. Fairs in the center of the field. Now rolls the ball up into midfield. Playing the ball out onto the far side of the field now. It's Quintero with the ball. Quintero over to Fairs. Fairs looking to break its way onto the inside, but the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And it will be a free kick coming up here for John Jay.
A trio of substitutions have come to the scorer's table for the Dolphins. And at the next opportunity, they will enter the game. Those substitutions include Adrian Kosovic, Philip Lefkowitz, and Omar Abdallah.
So a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Bloodhounds as we have just under 21 minutes remaining here in the first half, and we're scoreless. Russo with the ball. The ball's getting played in toward the box. Condi able to knock the ball away, but the Bloodhounds able to keep the pressure on, and the ball's going to be knocked away and played out of bounds. I'm sorry, it's going to be a foul called on the Bloodhounds. Offsides. Thank you, Dave. Dolphins playing the ball forward. Navarro coming forward with speed. Navarro trying to work his way inside, and a shot towards goal, and that's going to be over the top.
And those aforementioned substitutions will enter the game. It will be Adrian Kosovic, Omar Abdallah, and Philip Lefkowitz. They replace Bryant Navarro, Danny Nika, and Mike Arianis. And a nice play there as well by Bryant Navarro on that last opportunity, dribbling his way into a scoring position, more centered near the top of the box rather than near that outside corner of the penalty area. We've seen the Dolphins fire a pair of shots from already in this first half. Unfortunately, he took that shot left-footed and came up empty.
Fairs with the ball. It gets rolled back now to Fedorzi. Fedorzi over to Condi. Condi looking to play the ball forward as he's able to move the ball nicely past Jahin on the play. Now the Dolphins look to attack, but the pass is going to be just a little bit too far ahead and knocked out of bounds, so it will be a throw-in here for the Bloodhounds. Gillis to throw the ball in. It's going to be headed away by Fedorzi, who now looks to get the ball to Kosovic. Kosovic looking to head the ball forward. Kosovic looking to work his way in on Russo, but Russo able to push him out wide past the goal line. Kosovic still fighting along the goal line, working against Russo as the Bloodhounds edge another player over. Kosovic looking to work for the corner kick. Instead, he'll get the throw in, and we'll have another substitution here for the Dolphins.
It will be Joe Balella, number 15, entering for CSI. Looks like Ali Fairs is walking off.
Yeah, so Boella will place Fairs as the Dolphins throw the ball in toward the near post, and the Bloodhounds able to knock the ball away. Ball's going to get skied up in the air now, and it's going to be headed back nicely that time by Quintero. Ball gets played back now to Towler, and he's going to knock the ball away and play the ball all the way down the far sideline. Barabas feeding the ball up to Morales. Morales looking to play the ball forward. It's Kosovic once again. Kosovic now to Boella. Boella rolling the ball all the way out now to Abdallah. Abdallah with some space looks to play the ball in front. It's going to be knocked away by the Bloodhound defense and out of bounds. So it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins.
And that crossing attempt blocked nicely by the Bloodhounds as Abdallah was able to set his feet and square up towards his intended target in the penalty area. So a big block on the cross by the Bloodhounds. A nice defensive play.
Morales with the ball. Now rolls it back up over to Lehman. Lehman looking to move the ball forward. Now it's Boella with the ball. Boella looking to play it up over to Kosovic. And the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. And it'll be a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Bloodhounds. So, free kick coming up here as we're just under 17 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Well, Dolphins head coach John Tardy questioning whether or not the Bloodhounds goalkeeper, Stephen Taller, got any piece of that ball. If not, then that's a penalty kick for a foul on Kosovic, but they're saying he did get a piece of the ball.
Kosovic with a beautiful feed over to Boella, and he bicycled the ball over his head, got it to Boella. He was taken down in the box, but nothing called, and the Bloodhounds come away with possession.
No sub. Offside, guys, offside.
So 16 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. Opening up here the last couple of minutes, still scoreless between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds. Morales playing it for Kosovic, but now the teams will exchange offsides, and it'll be a free kick opportunity for the Bloodhounds.
The offsides count now. John Jay 3, CSI 2 as we get a look at that last play near the top of the penalty area. That's Joe Bolella giving chase to that ball before he's taken down from behind. You mentioned the nice feed by Adrian Kosovic on the bicycle kick up to Bolella, and some unhappy Dolphins coaches along the near sideline at the Dolphins bench following that last no call when Bolella went down. They also wanted an explanation when Kosovic got taken down, and a goal kick was awarded to the Bloodhounds on that play as well.
So Morales able to knock the ball away on a 50-50 ball, and now it'll be fed out onto the near side over to Abdallah. Abdallah skying the ball forward, this time looking for Boella once again, but the pass a little bit too far, and Tala will be there to make the play for the Bloodhounds. Ball played into the center of midfield now as the Bloodhounds look to build up the attack. Faye's pass is going to be knocked away. And the Dolphins come away with possession once again. Morales over to Quintero all the way on the far side of the field. Quintero with a little bit of space. Quintero feeding the ball up to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz turns and shoots and knocks that one off the side of the net.
And nicely done there by Philip Lefkowitz to turn very quickly and then fire a quality shot on goal. That one just wide. Probably the Dolphins' best opportunity on goal so far here in this first half as we have a pair of substitutions for the Bloodhounds. It's Nader Munasar, number 13, entering, along with number 9, Steven Sanchez. Replacing number 2, Bryant Silva, and number 24, Oscar Barrientos.
As the ball is going to be played down now into the midfield, and the Bloodhounds come away with possession of the ball. Is taken down on the play will be Aguilius, and he'll draw the foul, so it'll be a free kick coming up here for the Bloodhounds.
And we'll get a look at that turn and shot by Philip Lefkowitz. I may have incorrectly stated that was their best shot on goal. The Dolphins' best shot opportunity in this first half as we wind down under 14 minutes to go in half number 1.
As Abdallah looking to play the ball forward. Instead, it's played away nicely that time by Jaheen, but the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And once again, it'll be a throw-in here for John Jay.
And quickly, speaking of shot opportunities, the Dolphins with 8 shots so far in this first half to 2 for the Bloodhounds. Only a pair of those 8 shots by the Dolphins on goal.
As that ball is bobbled that time by Barabbas, and a very dangerous play, but Balid able to make the play, Joe.
And a good thing because there was a Bloodhounds attacker in the area ready to put that ball into the back of the net. Should Barabbas had faltered further and lost the ball completely, but he was able to regain possession quickly. The Dolphins on the attack now.
It's Condi with the ball. Condi looking to break in. Condi feeding the ball inside, looking for Abdallah, but once again the flag up, and once again the Dolphins offsides.
And that brings the offsides total for both teams to 3, 6 total so far in this first half between the two sides. Possession now belongs to the Bloodhounds.
So the Dolphins commit the offsides. And the free kick will be taken and played up in midfield. Nice play that time as Fedorzi steps up and knocks that ball out of bounds. So now the Bloodhounds with an opportunity to throw the ball in.
You got 22? Yeah, what do you got? For number 20?
Faye able to get the ball through a double team, work the ball back to Jaheen. Now the Bloodhounds looking to play the ball forward, but instead it's going to be Boella to come away with the ball for the Dolphins to feed it up over to Quintero. Quintero looking to get the ball up over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz on the far side of the field rolls the ball forward, but nothing but blue shirts there. as the Bloodhounds able to play the ball away, but now Kosovic able to come away with the steal. Kosovic over to Quintero, and Quintero will pick up the foul by Fay. So it will be a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Dolphins. An opportunity to make a play here, Joe, for CSI.
And it's Ryan Lehman once again taking the free kick for CSI as the referee has stopped the clock. A Bloodhounds player is down. I believe there was a collision between he and Adrian Kosovic. I don't have a number on that Bloodhound down, but the trainer will come out onto the field to attend to him. And once I have a number, I'll let you know. It looks like the recently entered number 13, Nader Munasar, who is down for John Jay. As we do have a substitution waiting to enter the game as well for John Jay. It's number 22, Jonathan Robles, who checked in with the scorer's table moments ago. Looks like a foot injury for Munasar, who remains down as he is helped up on the field. That is indeed Nader Munasar. As we get a look here, that's the play where Adrian Kosovic went down. And the question was whether or not the goalkeeper, Stephen Taller, had gotten any of the ball on that one. If not, the Dolphins bench wanted a penalty kick awarded. And if Taller did get a piece of the ball, the Dolphins felt, and rightly so, they should have had a corner kick. And no official explanation was given. As we get a look at another play the Dolphins bench was unhappy about, as the free kick is taken into the penalty area. It's scooped up by Taller, though off the head of a Dolphins player. A shot on goal was awarded. So we got to look at both of those high contact plays, and the Dolphins unable to make anything of that free kick.
As now it's Joel Morales turning with space. Morales turns and shoots, and that one is just wide. That was a good shot that time by Joel, but just wide past the near post.
Another shot that doesn't find its way on goal, but this one a good shot by Joel Morales. That one just wide. In stark contrast to a shot he took earlier that was well high and well wide. That one much closer to the mark, but the Dolphins still haven't found the back of the net here in this first half with just under 11 minutes to go in half number one. That shot attempt was number 10 for the Dolphins, only 3 of those on goal.
So it'll be Tala to take the free kick.
And there's another look at that shot by Joel Morales just wide of that left post.
Tala's free kick comes right in towards the midfield circle. Abdella's there to head it, but it'll go out of bounds, and that will be a throw-in coming up here for John Jay.
It was tough to see in a crowd of players as well, but on that free kick, a Dolphin did get a head on the ball, and a shot on goal was awarded there as well. That was the third Dolphin shot on goal. And that shot on goal was credited to the Dolphins' number 17, Wilson Quintero.
That ball is going to be played now by Lehman, as that ball is going to be headed out of bounds, and this time it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins, as we're now inside of 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Condi coming up with the ball. Now it's going to be played back to Lehman. Lehman looks to play the ball forward. Instead, it's going to be played away by the Bloodhounds, as that's Giogilius with the ball, but Condi there to play it over to Boella. Boella to Kosovic. Kosovic trying to work his way inside. His pass is knocked away, but Boella's there to play the ball back and get it over to Joel Morales. Now it's Quintero. Quintero, a long, high ball in the box, but Trowler's there to make the play for the Bloodhounds. Good-looking play that time by the Dolphins as they forced Stephen Towler to come and make a play. And the goalie was able to do it, and here the Dolphins come again. Boella trying to feed the ball inside to Kosovic. It's knocked away. Now it's Lefkowitz, but his shot will go up over the top.
That was nicely redirected by Adrian Kosovic. A lot of action along that far sideline when the Dolphins have had the ball on the attack. We've seen several crosses into the center of the penalty area, snagged out of midair by Stephen Towler. We've also seen a couple connect with the Dolphins attacker for a headed attempt on goal. That not the case there, but still a quality chance for the Dolphins as Lefkowitz fired high and well over the netting back beyond goal as a substitution has entered the game for the Bloodhounds as well.
So it'll be a free kick upcoming here for the Bloodhounds as Trowler's going to play the ball up on the near side to Barrentos. I'm sorry, that was Russo with the ball. Russo feeding it up now to Bastilio. Bastilio working his way into the center of the field. He rolls the ball through, But that time, Barabas able to make the play on the ball for the Dolphins.
And briefly, that substitution I just mentioned was number 10, Curtis Harbers, entering the game for John Jay, replacing Mark Schnatzstein.
The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Bastilio with the ball. And the Dolphins to throw the ball in as Condi throws the ball in and gets the ball up over to Abdallah. Abdallah looking to play the ball forward to Kosovic. Once again, it'll be knocked out of bounds. And once again, it'll be a free kick coming up here for John Jay. So free kick coming up here for the Bloodhounds. Clock continues to run. 7:40 remaining in the first half. And, Joe, the Dolphins still looking to score a goal.
And the Dolphins now on the brink of making it 5 consecutive halves, going scoreless. They'll look to bring an end to that scoreless streak here, but only 7 minutes and 20 seconds to do so in the first half, as Towler able to grab that one out of the air once again, snagging it away from Philip Lefkowitz.
Yeah, Lefkowitz was looking for any error on the part of the freshman, but none was made. But now the Dolphins come away with the ball, but Kosovic can't maintain possession. But now it's going to be Fedorzi in midfield, feeding the ball up over to Quintero. Quintero over to Morales. Morales working the ball up over to the center of the field, and now it's going to be Condi with the ball. Condi's going to roll the ball forward, but it's going to be played now defensively by Towler, and it'll be a free kick upcoming here for the Bloodhounds. Final regular season conference home game for the Dolphins. The Dolphins locked into the 4 or 5 position. The 4 position will give them a home game in the quarterfinal round, but the Baruch Bearcats control their own destiny, and if they're able to defeat York College, they will lock in the number 4 seed and force the Dolphins to go on the road in the CUNYAC quarterfinals here in 2017. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in once again for John Jay. Ball's going to be played out along the near sideline now, where it's Russo. Russo's going to roll the ball back on goal. And it's going to be played now in the center of the field to Munasar. Now it's Russo. Ball's going to be played forward, and, that time holding back was Haddad because he was going to be offsides, Joe, on the play.
Had he been onside, that may have been a very dangerous ball ahead to the attacker for the Bloodhounds. Fortunately for the Dolphins, he was forced to stop himself and avoid the offsides call.
Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be played in now. And out of bounds once again, so the Bloodhounds with another opportunity to throw the ball in as we're now inside of 5 minutes remaining here in this first half.
And that last pass attempt along the far sideline was blocked nicely by Miguel Morales. As once again, that was a dangerous ball. Should it have found its way through to the attacking player.
Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. As the Dolphins log throw, and they get the ball to Kosovic, and he's able to draw the foul, and that might be a yellow card issued by the official as well. A lot of contact on the play, and Kosovic well away from the goal, Joe, all the way out onto the side of the field. Really no need to pull him down in that situation, and we will have a card shown.
Kosovic remains down. I'm trying to get a look at what number that player was who was issued the yellow. Looks like 22, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll wait for the official score. I saw 10 over there as well. And we're both wrong, as it's going to be issued on Jesus Marino. 9, I'm sorry. Sanchez will be the player picking up the warning, and now a free kick opportunity for the Dolphins. Clock stop with 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first half.
And that was foul number 7 for John Jay. Both teams with 7 fouls committed so far here in this first half. The clock stopped with 4:35 to go in half number 1 as Adrian Kosovic now appears set to attempt the free kick.
So a free kick coming up here. And it will be Kosovic to take the free kick. As the official blows the whistle, the clock starts. As that ball's going to be played into the box, but played away nicely by the Bloodhounds. And a nice play that time by Miguel Morales to step forward as the Bloodhounds were looking to counterattack quickly.
And that's another nice play there by Miguel Morales. If he's unable to clear that ball out, it's a 2-on-1 attack for the Bloodhounds, and that would have really forced the Dolphins to scramble back and get on defense. But Morales does a nice job to clear that ball over the near sideline, allowing the Dolphins to get set.
As the ball's going to be played now down the near sidelines, that's Bustillo. Bustillo able to get past Lehman. Bustillo able to get past another Dolphin defender. He shielded off the ball in the box, so the Dolphins allow Bustillo to break all the way in, but are able to clear the ball out. Boella now playing the ball away to Kosovic. Kosovic turns and plays the ball up over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz trying to get the Dolphins' counterattack going quickly, but instead it's going to be knocked out and played off the head that time of Quintero. But the Bloodhounds continue to get an opportunity to attack as Quintero okay and back up on his feet. Fay with the ball. Now Fedorzi comes away and knocks it away, and Fedorzi will draw the foul, and it will be a free kick coming up here for the Dolphins.
And the clock is stopped for what looks like a head injury as Wilson Quintero is down to his knees. It looked like he took a shot to the head, either with the ball or off the head of a Bloodhounds player, collision, and they're taking a look at what appears to be an injury to the forehead. So we'll have a stoppage in play here with 3:17 to go in half number one. Dolphins and Bloodhounds still scoreless.
Yeah, and, he took the ball off his face, Joe, on the offensive side of the field and got back onto the defensive side of the field. But he's going to come off now with 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the first half. So I would expect the Dolphins will put in a substitute for Quintero.
And a yellow card has been issued.
So a card issued to the Dolphin bench. And it'll be a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Dolphins. So a free kick opportunity here coming up for the Dolphins. As Lehman will take the free kick and the clock starts once again. 3:15 remaining here in the first half. Fay with the ball now in midfield for the Bloodhounds. Fay rolling the ball back as the Bloodhounds look to play the ball back inside. Joel Morales is there to head the ball away. And Fay is there to play it once again. But Lefkowitz comes back and makes a nice play defensively for the Dolphins, but his clearing pass is going to be knocked away and knocked out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in once again, but it'll be a throw-in for John Jay. As the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll go out of bounds, and I believe that's going to be a corner kick, Joe, for the Bloodhounds, as Dolphins give a corner kick away a little easily, Joe, on that play.
And prior to the corner kick being taken, an injury substitution will enter for the Dolphins. It's Edwin Yergiles entering for CSI. He's wearing number 24, replacing the injured Wilson Quintero, who went down with a head injury prior to the yellow card being assessed to the Dolphins bench. As the corner travels off the head of a Bloodhounds player, and Barbas got a hand on it, but appears to have injured himself, colliding with the post. The clock is stopped once again as the Dolphins goalkeeper is down.
Yeah, so a beautiful play that time, Joe. But, once again, the Dolphins give up a big opportunity. And the clock stops once again with 1:55 remaining. So it looks like he's going to be okay, and it looks like we're going to have another corner kick opportunity here for the Bloodhounds.
And that was easily the best opportunity of the game for the Bloodhounds. That corner was taken into a crowd of players, and somehow it found the head of a Bloodhounds attacker who was able to direct one just inside that far post, but Barbas gets a hand on it.
The ball's going to be played into the center of the box, and we have a whistle. And I'm not sure what the call's going to be. It looks like we're going to get to do it again, Joe.
And right now the question is whether or not that header attempt was a shot on goal. We'll have a determination for you by halftime. Only a minute 38 to go here in half number 1 as the Bloodhounds prepare to take yet another corner kick.
As the corner comes all the way across to the far post, and this time Barabas is there to make the play for the Dolphins. Couple of opportunities there for the Bloodhounds, but the Dolphins able to turn it away, and we're still scoreless. Dolphins look to play the ball forward, but it's going to be knocked away defensively once again as the Bloodhounds look to counterattack, but instead the ball knocked away, and now it's going to be Fedorzi. Fedorzi looked to play the ball forward, but instead Morales is going to be there to play the ball away for the Dolphins and feed Boel. Ball's going to be knocked away, and now the Bloodhounds come away with possession with 50 seconds remaining, but they'll be unable to keep the ball in play, and now it'll be Condi to come up and throw the ball in for the Dolphins. Kosovic swinging the ball out up into the air, and it's going to be played now by Morales. Morales over to Fedorzi, back up over to Morales. He'll roll the ball all the way onto the far side of the field where Oguiles is there to play the ball for the Dolphins. 23 seconds left in the first half. Morales' pass is going to be knocked away and skied back towards midfield as Lehman is there to head the ball over to the sidelines, over to Condi, but Condi's pass is going to be knocked out of bounds by Haddad. And with 8 seconds remaining, no reason for the Dolphins to throw the ball in. They will, and that'll do it, Joe. 45 minutes in the books, scoreless, Dolphins and Bloodhounds.
And much like the game against the Lightning, a very entertaining first half. Opportunities for both sides, but once again, it's the Dolphins who get the most of those opportunities. Outshot the Bloodhounds 11-3 in that first half. Only 3 of those 11 shots on goal, and perhaps the best chance of that first half came for John Jay right at the end there as a player did get a head on it. It looked like Balint Barabas did get a hand on the ball, though collided with the post. I'm not sure that shot was going to find its way inside that far post anyway, but it appeared as if he did get a hand on it, deflected it wide, and came up appearing hurt, though he did stay in the game and was okay. So right now, Mike, we're scoreless at halftime. What did you see in that first half that stood out to you?
Well, you know, it was a good first half, Joe, and we'll step aside to take a break, and we'll come back and discuss that after our halftime break as we're scoreless at halftime, the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds, as you're watching men's soccer coverage exclusively on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course.
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Yep. And we're back here on CSI Sportsnet. The Dolphins and Bloodhounds scoreless after one half of play. Approximately 2.5 minutes to go before the start of the second half between the Bloodhounds and the Dolphins in the final CUNYAC matchup of the season for both teams. The Dolphins, though, do have one game remaining on their schedule in the 2017 regular season. That game takes place against Arcadia this Saturday, October 21st at 12 p.m. But still, one half of soccer between now and then for the Dolphins, and we do have some first half stats for you as we get set to begin half number 2 here from the CSI Soccer Complex. In that first half, the Dolphins outshot John Jay by an 8-shot margin, 11-3. However, the Dolphins had a shot on goal margin of only 3. The Dolphins had 3 of their 11 shots find space in between the pipes. 3 shots on goal for the Dolphins in half number 1 on 11 shots taken. For the Bloodhounds, not a single one of their shots was on goal, though that last header attempt may or may not have been deflected by Balint Barabas. At the end of that first half, the biggest opportunity for the Bloodhounds, without a doubt, came on that header attempt late in half number 1 for the Dolphins. Also, a single corner kick. The Bloodhounds with the advantage on corner kicks 4-1, and 15 fouls committed by these two teams through the first half. 8 for the Bloodhounds and 7 for the Dolphins. And both teams have taken the field here to begin half number 2. Dolphins and Bloodhounds, no score here from the CSI Soccer Complex. Mike and I talked about it in the pregame as well, the potential scenarios for the CUNYAC tournament. The Dolphins, as Mike mentioned, can only finish in 4th or 5th place in the CUNYAC conference, and those opening round matchups will see the number 3 seed take on the number 6 seed and the number 4 seed take on the number 5 seed. So for the Dolphins, it's all a matter of whether or not they will have to travel on the road, and not only do the Dolphins have to pick up a victory here in this game, but they would also need Baruch College to fall against York as well. So the Dolphins will look to pick up that 4th seed and secure a home game, but that hinges on both their performance here today and the performance of Baruch College later this evening at 6 p.m. That game, once again, against the Cardinals of York College. So Cardinals and Bearcats, Dolphins and Bloodhounds both on the CUNYAC conference schedule today as we wind down to inside 20 seconds before the start of half number 2. Once again, the Dolphins and Bloodhounds scoreless through half number 1, And taking a look at the goalkeeping numbers as well in that first half, Stephen Towler forced to make 3 saves for the Bloodhounds. And though there was a lot of action in the penalty area, Balint Barabas did not have to make a single save for CSI. And the horn has sounded with 45 minutes on the clock here for the second half. The Bloodhounds yet to break their huddle. So once they take their positions on the pitch, the second half will get underway. And the Bloodhounds now in position And the referee getting ready to blow the whistle for the start of half number 2, and half number 2 is now underway. Dolphins and Bloodhounds. This is Joe Foreman on CSI Sportsnet. Should be rejoined by Mike Babuski within a few minutes, as the Dolphins have possession of it now just shy of midfield. It's Joel Morales with the ball. Morales switches play over towards the near sideline. It's Edwin Yergiles with it for the Dolphins. He entered as an injury substitution in the first half, remains in the game as Ryan Lehman moves forward towards midfield. Passes up ahead to Adrian Kosovic, who's challenged by a pair of Bloodhounds. Kosovic battling for possession and is called for the foul as the Bloodhounds player goes down hard on that one. That's Oscar Barrientos. He remains down on the pitch and slowly gets to his feet, as it will be a free kick for John Jay. And that free kick travels toward the penalty area. It's volleyed up in the air by the Bloodhounds. And it trickles back over to Barrientos. Kosovic pulled down by the shorts there. And that one was clear as day. The official stops the clock, and it looks like a card may be issued here, as Barrientos looking to escape the official. He's unhappy about something and is issued a yellow card.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, the chippiness of this game starting to pick up a little bit here as we get it to the end of the first half and here into the beginning of the second half.
And some physical play there between Barrientos and Kosovic on that last exchange around the midfield circle. Barrientos just pulled Kosovic down hard by the shorts. I think he was upset about Kosovic's strong play on the ball before. Kosovic was being challenged by a pair of Bloodhounds and was aggressively fighting for possession, and perhaps Barrientos took exception to something Kosovic did, but it's a free kick for the Dolphins toward the penalty area.
So the Dolphins looking to play the ball inside. It's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in now coming up here for the Bloodhounds. You know, Joe, another scoreless half for the Dolphins. They're looking for solutions, looking for goals, and they've really been a struggle here for the last couple of games.
And once again, it wasn't for a lack of opportunities that the Dolphins found themselves kept off the scoreboard. I mentioned 11 shots in that first half for CSI, but only 3 on goal.
So the ball's going to be rolled all the way forward, and coming back to play the ball for the Dolphins defensively, it's going to be Yergiles as that ball is knocked out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in coming up here for the Dolphins. And we have a collision on the plays. This time it'll be Kosovic that gets called for the foul. Just under 43 minutes remaining here in the second half. Final conference game for the CSI Dolphins. They're fighting for an opportunity to get the number 4 seed, Joe, and if they're unable to pick up any points here today, that will eliminate that possibility.
And the Dolphins, of course, would love to get one more conference home game this season in the CUNYAC tournament. But again, you mentioned, Mike, they need to win here this afternoon. They also need a defeat of the Baruch College Bearcats by the York College Cardinals. And you mentioned it in the pregame, Mike, as well. The Cardinals come into their matchup with the Bearcats without a single conference victory so far in 2017. So it appears that should things play out the way we would expect, the Dolphins will wind up at the 5th spot in the conference by virtue of the Bearcats' victory over the Cardinals, should that victory take place and the Cardinals be kept out of the win column in the conference this season. And we do have yet another injured player, as we've seen several players go down in this game. I believe that was Miguel Morales who went down for the Dolphins, as he's attended to by the trainer.
Yeah, and, you know, a couple of Dolphins have gone down in the last couple of minutes here, Joe. You know, hopefully Morales is okay. Morales, a freshman player for the Dolphins this year, Joe, and has played very well in the back for CSI.
He has, and it's been a very physical game, and that's just the product of a physical game. You hate to see players go down constantly, but there's been some very aggressive play on the ball by both sides in this game. At times it seems players on each team have taken exception to the physicality exerted by the opposition, but the referee has kept control of this game, issued a couple of yellow cards. The Dolphins bench didn't necessarily like one of them that came when an injured player went down with what looked like a head injury. A yellow card was assessed to the Dolphins bench. I'm not sure what it was that they did. Perhaps it had something to do with the way that that injury was attended to. Either way, the Dolphins unhappy about that, and we've seen the product of physical play so far here in this game with several players going down.
So we're about ready to get underway here once again. And, again, Joe, the game started out and it was a good game and it was a physically played game. Boy, has this game gotten a little bit chippy and cards issued here over the last few minutes, plays going down. So game really slowing down here toward the end of the first half, the beginning of the second.
And it has, and I mentioned it before, not only has the play been physical, but it seems as if the players are starting to take exception to it. So we'll see how that plays out, and hopefully nothing more becomes of that, as we love to see the referee keep the yellow cards in his pocket and see what was a very entertaining game keep moving. And the Dolphins will have possession of the ball as they regain it after a brief turnover right around midfield.
As the ball's going to be played down now, and it's Lefkowitz with the ball. Lefkowitz had a good opportunity for the Dolphins, but his shot went off the side of the net in the first half. One of the better opportunities that the Dolphins had.
And the Dolphins had many opportunities in that first half, but much like the game against Lehman, many of those were high and wide. Others, good opportunities toward goal, but not necessarily on goal. As you mentioned, Lefkowitz just putting one wide. Joel Morales also had a quality shot opportunity that went wide.
As Kosovic just ran over the Bloodhound defender, no foul called on the play, and now we're going to have a whistle, and the Bloodhounds put the ball in play. And John Jay was wondering what was going on now in that play, Joe. You can't really blame him.
I'm not sure you can see a much more blatant foul than that. Over the course of a game, Kosovic just ran straight into the player who possessed the ball and ran him over. Straight up ran him over, and no call was made, so it turns out as a free kick for John Jay as they look to move forward on the attack past midfield.
41 minutes remaining here in the second half. Still scoreless between the Dolphins and the Bloodhounds as Dolphins come away with the ball in midfield. That's Boella. Boella, a nice pass to Kosovic. Kosovic with a little bit of room. He's nudged down on the play, but no call on the play. And, Joe, that's a tough call to expect.
Yeah, it's a tough call to expect, and I'm not sure how much of an impact it had. There was an arm on Kosovic's inside shoulder, perhaps a bit of a tug of the jersey, but it didn't appear to be anything that warranted the foul call in the penalty area, as that would have resulted in a penalty kick, of course. So it's the Bloodhounds with possession after the opportunity for Kosovic goes by the wayside.
Now the ball's going to be stolen, and now it's Kosovic once again, but he's going to be in front of the defender and get called for the offside. So Dolphins with another offsides on the play, Joe, and that's, I believe, their fourth offsides of the afternoon.
And it appears as if the frustration is building for both the Dolphins player and their bench. As we get another look at that Kosovic run, we'll see. And I don't think there's anything there that warrants a penalty call. There was a bit of tangling there between the arms of Kosovic and the challenger. As another player is down on the field, looks like he's holding his throat. The trainer is back out once again. It appears Kosovic was right in the middle of another physical play. It's number 24 for the Bloodhounds. That's Oscar Barrientos, who was down, and it appears as if he remains down at this point.
So another stoppage here in play as Bloodhound player down on the field. We have 39 minutes and 55 seconds remaining here in the second half. A second half that's getting off to kind of a slow start here, Joe.
Yeah, it has been off to a bit of a slow start, due in large part to these injury timeouts as the clock is stopped once again just inside of 40 minutes. And remaining down is Barrientos. It looked like Vasil Fedorci was being stretched out on the field as well by Philip Lefkowitz. Perhaps some sort of leg cramp developing for Fedorci early here in the second half. It's not too hot out here. You mentioned the temperature around 70 degrees at the start of this game, and it will cool down and has cooled down a bit since the opening kickoff as the sun begins to set here over the CSI soccer complex. As the trainer has exited the field and play resumes.
As the Bloodhounds play the ball up into the middle of the field, and Morales plays the ball for the Dolphins, and we're back underway here. Scoreless here in the second half. Final regular season conference game for both teams. The Dolphins will complete the regular season on Saturday as that pass is too far out in front, and the Dolphins there to play the ball away once again. Barabas has played well for the Dolphins here this afternoon, Joe, and the Dolphins just looking for an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. And you kind of feel if they can get that first one, Joe, maybe they could get the floodgates open a little bit. Ball's going to be played all the way down the far sideline and roll out of bounds as that time Aguilez was not able to keep the ball in for the Dolphins, and it's going to be a free kick now for the Bloodhounds. Dolphins coming into today's game a 4-3 conference record, looking to finish over 500 in the conference and give themselves an opportunity to finish as the number 4 seed and secure a home game in the 2017 CUNYAC tournament. For the Bloodhounds, they've already clinched the number 2 seed, so they'll go into the CUNYAC tournament with an opening round bye and wait for the group to shuffle themselves out after quarterfinal play. Bloodhounds looking to play the ball up the far sideline, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Bloodhounds. So that'll be a free kick coming up here for the Dolphins. Might have been an offsides on the call, Joe, on the play.
Looks that way, Mike. And you mentioned the Dolphins can only finish in 4th or 5th in the CUNYAC conference, but with a victory here today, the Dolphins would only be the second team in the conference this season to pick up 10 total victories overall in the season, as John Jay looks like they'll have an opportunity to do so as well should they win this game. So both teams perhaps playing for a double-digit victory total in 2017 as well.
And the Dolphins looking to try to get into the CUNYAC finals and get a win, and it's been a long time in between CUNYAC championships. Long ball played down to Kosovic once again. Kosovic trying to work its way through 2 players and a nice bicycle kick on goal, but he was a little bit too far out, and Tyler able to get there and make the save on the ball, Joe, for the Bloodhounds.
And that shot was right on target. Unfortunately for Adrian Kosovic, it didn't reach goal that quickly. It sailed a bit in the air, but that one was a well-placed shot, though it didn't have enough behind it as Adrian took that shot off balance in between 2 defenders.
So the ball is going to be played back now, and it'll be Lehman now playing it forward into midfield. But Bastilio there to knock the ball away for the Bloodhounds. And now the Bloodhounds set up the attack on the far side of the field, but their pass is going to be knocked out of bounds. And now John Jay with an opportunity to throw the ball in. Bloodhounds throw the ball in, and the ball is going to be knocked out over the far sidelines. The Dolphins roll the ball back, and now it's Lehman there to play it. He plays the ball out over to the sidelines, and now Condi will knock it out of bounds, so it'll be another throw-in here for the Bloodhounds. Dolphins come away with the steal, and now the long ball looking for Kosovic, and it's been a lot of the Dolphin offense here in the second half, Joe. Long passes down to Adrian.
And he's found himself challenged by a pair of defenders on each of those long ball attempts to him.
As Boella now with a long cross, and boy, that didn't miss the net by much. I'm not sure if that's what he was going for, Joe. But instead it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Bloodhounds.
And there will be a substitution prior to that Bloodhounds free kick as Danny Nika will enter for the Dolphins. It's Nika for Abdella with just under 36 minutes to go in the second half.
So it'll be a free kick opportunity, but we have a little bit of a break in the play. There's a ball over on the goal line, Joe, and the official wants that moved.
So it's a goal kick for the Bloodhounds. The official sounds the whistle, as you mentioned, Mike, to get that ball off of the field. And retaking the goal kick will be Towler.
So we're ready to get underway here with just over 35 minutes remaining here in the second half, and we're still scoreless. Bloodhounds with possession of the ball in the midfield, but Lefkowitz is able to roll the ball back, but can't maintain possession, and now the ball's going to roll back onto the foot of Christian Aguilius for the Bloodhounds. He's able to get the ball forward to Lago. Lago now rolling the ball over to Bastilio as John Jay looking to build up their attack right through the center of the field. Bastilio's pass is going to be knocked away, and Nika comes back to play it, and he'll play the ball out over to the near sideline where it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Nicholas Talla to come over and throw the ball in for the Bloodhounds. Talla's throw-in is knocked away by the Dolphin defense, but coming over to play the ball will be Lago. Lago feeding the ball out over to Bastilio. Bastilio has the ball knocked away by Nika, but instead Lago able to come away with it as both teams fighting for possession along the near sideline. And now the Dolphins able to clear the ball up towards midfield where they are looking for Kosovic, But the Bloodhounds had 3 players back and able to come away with the ball, but now it's Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz with the ball to Kosovic. Kosovic flying down the far side. Kosovic rolling the ball in front, but Trowler there and able to come out and make the play on the ball. As Kosovic came down the far side with speed, Joe, but not able to get much on it to make a play.
And it was going to be tough for the Dolphins to create an opportunity out of that attacking play, as this long ball will be scooped up out of goal, and bobbling it for a moment there was Barabbas, but he regained it. As I was saying, the Dolphins were going to have a tough time making something of that opportunity, as there are a lot more blue jerseys than white down there with the Dolphins on the attack.
Nika can't get the give-and-go pass. It's going to roll out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in once again coming up here for the Bloodhounds. Dolphins have not scored a goal since the second half of that Hunter College game, Joe, where Dolphins were able to get a couple of late goals and come away with a victory, but it's been a long time in between goals here for CSI.
And we can't underestimate the importance now of the Dolphins getting off of that scoreless streak and putting a goal up on the scoreboard. It's been a rough go of it now for them over the last 3 games, including this one. We mentioned, of course, the 1-0 defeat at the hands of Lehman and a tie against a tough Stevens Institute team, but the Dolphins really need to find their way back onto the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was Brenly Salas who scored the last goal, as we're going to have a whistle and a flag up here, and the Dolphins will have the free kick. But Brenly Salas scored the last goal for the Dolphins in the 77th minute in that game against Hunter College. And, boy, Joe, that was 4 games ago.
And we have yet another injury with a player down. This time it's Edwin Yergiles, who first entered the game as an injury replacement. He's down in the penalty area and will be attended to by the trainer as the clock is once again stopped here in the second half at 32 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yeah, so that's the 4th stoppage of play, Joe, within 13 minutes here in the second half. And like we mentioned, the game was really cruising right along, and then with a couple of minutes left in the first half, it really started to we started to have some fouls and some injuries, and it's been that way here the whole second half.
Yeah, and as we get a look here at a replay from earlier on that shot by Adrian Kosovic, and again, that shot was on target. He just didn't get all of it as the ball sailed a bit. That was due to his body position as he shot it, being challenged by a pair of Bloodhounds. So the player on the field, Yergiles, remains down, and you mentioned the physicality of this game, Mike, and how it has slowed down. That's due in large part to 21 total fouls between these two teams. 11 fouls committed by the Dolphins, 10 by the Bloodhounds. Also now 7 offsides have been committed by the two teams, 4 by the Dolphins and 3 by John Jay.
Yeah, as Aguilia is still down on the field, so this appears to be a pretty serious injury on the play, as he got taken down, Joe, and he's still lying there, and he's really not moving. So while we have this injury here, why don't we step aside and take a break, and we'll be back here in just a minute. You're watching men's soccer coverage exclusively on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tight.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
We're back here at the CSI Soccer Complex with 32 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in this second half. We're still scoreless, and good news for Dolphin fans. Edwin Aguilia up on his feet. He appears to be okay.
Of course, you never want to see a player down with a head injury. Unfortunately, that's been the case at least 2 or 3 times so far here in this game. On both sides, players have gone down, and we do appear set to resume play, as there was a substitution as well. It was Jonathan Villamar who checks in for the injured Ugila, as also a substitution entered the game for the Bloodhounds as well. And their leading goal scorer, Mark Schnatzstein, comes back on. So Schnatzstein enters for the Bloodhounds, and for the Dolphins, it's VMR with 32:24 to go in the second half. Play still yet to resume. The clock stopped.
And Schnatzstein, the Dolphins doing a pretty good job against him so far here this afternoon. Joey played 33 minutes in the first half, just checking in or getting ready to check in here in the second half. And we had that one big goal-scoring opportunity where they kicked that one wide past the far post. But other than that, Joe, the Dolphins doing a pretty good job on him here this afternoon.
And they've done a good job of limiting the opportunities for John Jay all game long.
As Kosovic with an opportunity, he tried to slide that one in and slide it across. Instead, it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be a free kick opportunity as Schnatzstein comes back in. And, Joe, Kosovic's been around the ball a lot, and he's been in some challenging positions, but just not able to get that finishing touch.
And Adrian's been very active since entering the game. We've said his name many times. The Dolphins have been looking to play the ball long up to him, but unfortunately he's found himself challenged by a pair of Bloodhounds on almost all of those occasions. And after initially seeing the line judge allow Mark Schnatzstein to enter, you mentioned, Mike, he does enter the game now, as he did replace James Haddad for the Bloodhounds. Also, Bryant Navarro enters the game for the Dolphins, so a substitution for each side.
So Kosovic will check out for the Dolphins, and Navarro checks in as Navarro, the leading goal scorer for the Dolphins, but like everyone else, looking to get themselves on the scoreboard. Here's a nice move by Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz putting the ball in front, and a nice play by Towler to cut that ball off and make the play on the ball and not allow any rebound.
And that ball was dangerous, both as a shot and a potential pass to a pair of Dolphins who were positioned in front of the goal. Nicely done there by Towler to snag that one out of midair without allowing a rebound.
Fay gets that to Schnatzstein, and Schnatzstein's shot is just over the top. And, boy, Joe, it didn't take him more than a minute to check in before he probably had the best opportunity for the Bloodhounds here in the second half.
And it didn't take long for the Bloodhounds to get back on the attack either, as moments after the Dolphins had an opportunity toward goal or on goal. I think it was credited as a non-shot, so no shot on that play by the Dolphins. The Bloodhounds come right back and put one toward goal of their own, and a big opportunity there for John Jay.
So now the ball is going to be played out in midfield, as that's Jaheen with the ball. Jaheen looking to play the ball forward. It's going to be knocked out of bounds, but once again it'll be a throw-in for the Bloodhounds, as we're now inside of 30 minutes remaining here in regulation time. As we have an opportunity to take a look at that replay, is a good opportunity here for the Dolphins. But once again, Lefkowitz tried to get the ball across, Joe, but Tower was there to make the play.
And I think that was a smart play there by Lefkowitz. He had a pair of Dolphins who were coming in toward the goal unopposed, and no marker challenging either one of them. So an opportunity for either of two Dolphins. One was Vasil Fedorci to potentially redirect that one on goal. Nicely done by Stephen Towler to make sure that didn't happen.
So now it's Nika with the ball. Nika feeding the ball up over to Boella. Boella feeding it back up over to Nika. Nika trying to work his way through three defenders. He does so. He gets the ball to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz looked to get the ball back, but we're going to have a whistle as he's taken down hard in a big position, Joe, and a big opportunity for the Dolphins to put that ball on net as Lefkowitz is down on the ground, but he does appear to be trying to get back up on his feet. And he's able to do so, so the clock will continue to run. But a big goal-scoring opportunity coming up here for the Dolphins.
And we've seen several free kicks in this game, but this free kick here for the Dolphins will yield the best opportunity for either side to put a shot on goal directly off of the free kick. Vasil Fedorci's lined up over the ball, so it appears as if he'll take it. Still scoreless, Dolphins looking to find their way onto the scoreboard for the first time in the last 3 games.
So the official are going to force the Bloodhounds to move back 10 yards. As the Dolphins getting ready for the free kick opportunity. So let's see if they try to put the ball on the net here as they chip that one towards the wall. It's knocked away. Fedorci took that free kick, Joe, but he couldn't get it past the wall.
And not a bad opportunity for the Dolphins, of course, and not a bad free kick taken there by Fedorci. Of course, you'd like to clear the wall, but from that range, sometimes you need to be precise. and unfortunately he was unable to clear the wall with that shot attempt.
So Lefkowitz takes the corner. The ball bounces all the way through to Morales, and his shot is on goal. But Taller is there to make the play. Nice shot that time by Morales. Good job by Taller to move his way across goal and get in good position, Joe, to make the save.
And that shot on goal, number 6 for CSI in this game, and I think that's been their best chance of the game thus far. Morales placed that shot well. It would have found its way in under the crossbar, but Stephen Taller fully extends and makes the save.
Condi gets the ball up over to Lefkowitz, but Lefkowitz loses possession, and now Fay turns the ball around, and the Bloodhounds try to counterattack quickly, but Lehman will come over and play the ball back. Lehman on the far sidelines now gets the ball up over to Condi. Condi with a little bit of space. Now looking to chip the ball forward. He was looking to get the ball up to Boella, but the Bloodhounds knocked the ball out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. Boella thought about throwing it in quickly, but we'll let the Dolphin players come forward for the throw-in.
The attacking play by the Dolphins has been very strong to open up this second half. They've already doubled their shot on goal total from half number 1 from 3 to 6 here in the second half, for 6 total shots on goal. They've already picked up 3 shots on goal, that is, here in the second half. And in just a few moments, we can have another look at that last shot by Joel Morales.
And the ball will go out of bounds. So here's another look at it. And that ball went over everybody, Joe, and Morales was there. And he did a nice job getting the ball up and getting it on goal. But, you know, as we mentioned, Taller did a nice job following the ball all the way across and was able to make the play.
And that was a well-placed shot that at the very least would have made contact with the crossbar, but it did appear as if it would find its way just under the crossbar. And Taller, again, did a nice job. He now has 6 saves on the game, of course, with the Dolphins being held off the scoreboard through 6 shots on goal taken.
Yeah, and, you know, the Bloodhounds officially credited with no shots on goal yet here, Joe. The Bloodhounds have had some opportunities, but not able to put the ball on the net. Now the Bloodhounds looking to create the turnover, and they do force the Dolphins to play the ball out of bounds over the far sidelines, so it'll be a throw-in here for the Bloodhounds.
And much like in their last game, the Dolphins continue to see their shot margin over the opposition increase as the official has stopped the clock once again at 25:31. He's having a word with the bench for John Jay. Perhaps a warning was just issued to the Bloodhounds bench, though we will not have an explanation as to why.
So the Bloodhounds looking to throw the ball in. They get the ball into Fay. Fay trying to get towards the center of the field. He now rolls the ball back. And a little bit of space now as that's going to be Taller with the ball. Taller loses the ball to Nika. Nika unable to maintain possession as the ball goes onto the feet of Munasar. Munasar able to break into the net, and we're going to have a whistle or no whistle, I should say, as the Bloodhound player goes down. A little contact in the box, Joe, but I'm not sure I saw anything that merited a penalty.
Well, that was a great heel kick there to set up his teammate. I didn't see who it was that redirected that ball so quickly, but it was redirected very nicely and put Munasar in a premier scoring position right in front. Unfortunately for John Jay, he got taken down and did not get a shot off. We'll have another look at that in just a few moments. Here it is as the Dolphins turn the ball over just outside the penalty area. And it was...
That was Fay, I believe,
Yeah, it
Joe.
was Fay. It was Fay who redirected the ball off his heel and then breaking in for the shot.
And that was a really nice defensive play by the Dolphins to get a contact, but not enough contact to draw the foul. As the Dolphins escape that one, and we remain scoreless. As Morales now playing the ball forward over to Lefkowitz now in the center of the field. Arianas couldn't play that ball through, but now it's Nika. Nika looking to roll the ball forward. He was looking to get the ball to Boella. He's going to be taken down on the play. Now it's Shadstein with the ball. Shadstein with the best opportunity for the Bloodhounds here in the second half, and he'll fire that shot wide. So he's taken a few shots towards goal, Joe, but not able to get one on the net yet.
And Schnadstein may have actually been the one who was involved in that last play where a player was taken down in front. I didn't catch if it was Munasar or Schnadstein. Either way, the John Jay bench wanted a foul call, did not get it, as we have a substitution for the Dolphins entering the game. It's Ali Fairs replacing Joe Balella.
Yeah, as we have another opportunity to look at that beautiful back heel, and that was Shadstein breaking his way inside, Joe, who got taken down on the play. So Dolphins escape as this time Fairs is going to get pushed from behind, and we're going to have a foul called on the Bloodhound. So the fouls continue here, Joe, here in the second half.
And there has been no ceasing to the fouls committed by both sides as the foul total in this game continues to climb. We're now at 23 fouls committed by these two teams, 12 by the Dolphins and 11 by the Bloodhounds. A pair of yellow cards issued on foul calls as well. Now, actually, 4 yellow cards have been issued in this game, so 3 of those the result of fouls committed.
So Lehman taking the free kick. He skies that one all the way into the center of the box, but just not enough Dolphin offensive pressure, Joe, on that ball, and the Bloodhounds able to clear it away.
And that was a quality free kick there by Ryan Lehman from a far distance out around midfield, able to find its way into the penalty area was that free kick. But you said it, Mike, not enough Dolphins around the ball to make anything of it.
Lefkowitz has that ball knocked out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Dolphins deep inside Bloodhound territory as we're halfway through half number 2. Bloodhounds and Dolphins scoreless. You know, Joe, these are the kind of games you could expect as you work your way into the tournament and you play against good teams. A single goal in a lot of these games is the difference between winning and failing to advance.
And it appears as if we may have yet another one-goal game here. As you mentioned, several one-goal games played by the Dolphins so far in this season, especially their recent defeats. Their last 3 defeats, all coming by a single goal, all conference losses as well to Baruch, Brooklyn, and Lehman. They're hoping to avoid the same fate here today and would gladly take a one-goal victory as well, but both teams have been kept off of the scoreboard so far as we're under 22 minutes remaining in the second half.
So that's Lehman with the free kick, and that's going to be blocked by the Bloodhounds and played now by Condi. Condi trying to turn and move the ball in the center of the field, and said Shadstein able to knock the ball away momentarily. Now it's going to go out of bounds once again, but once again it'll be a throw-in for the Bloodhounds after we have a couple of substitutions.
Substitutions for both sides as Wilson Quintero enters for the Dolphins, replacing number 14. That is the recently entered Jonathan Villamar. And exiting for the Bloodhounds was number 10, Curtis Harbers, to be replaced by number 27, James Haddad.
Update in the women's soccer score. Lehman and John Jay scoreless. The Bloodhounds must win that game in order to set up a matchup against the Dolphins this Saturday for the regular season CUNYAC championship. If the Bloodhounds lose or tie, Joe, then the Dolphins could put themselves in position to win the regular season championship with a tie or a win against the Bloodhounds.
And we've mentioned it several times already as that one's played into the penalty area and snagged out of the air by Towel. The Dolphins would love to come away with a regular season championship, but of course the ultimate goal is the CUNYAC championship, something they achieved last year.
Yeah, the Dolphins looking for their 3rd consecutive CUNYAC championship and their 3rd consecutive NCAA bid under head coach Joe Panetti. And you know, the Dolphins have played well at times this year on the women's side, Joe. Their only blemish in conference play, that 2-2 tie against CCNY on the road, a game the Dolphins led 1-0 and 2-1, but a game that the CCNY Beavers team played very well in and were able to come back with a tie. And CCNY also getting a tie already against John Jay. So another team that has put themselves in contention here in 2017 on the women's side.
And we mentioned that several teams will be competing closely in that women's CUNYAC tournament as this free kick travels in toward the penalty area. And yet another whistle as another foul is committed. And I believe that will bring the foul total in this game now to 27, 14 for the Bloodhounds, 13 for the Dolphins.
So the Dolphins trying to put the ball in quickly. The official going to make them reset. So with 19 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in this second half, it'll be a free kick here for the Dolphins. Ball skied up in the center of the field where Faye heads the ball down and looks to get the ball out over to Jajin. But the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in here now for CSI. 2 games remaining for the Dolphins. This will be their final conference game. The Dolphins looking to finish over 500 as Faye will take that shot and knock it well wide. So it'll be a free kick coming up here for the Dolphins.
And the Bloodhounds still looking for that first shot on goal, and shots like that won't get it for them as they really haven't exerted much pressure on the attack here in the second half. Towards the end of the first half, they had what up until that point was the best opportunity of the game, and that still did not result in a shot on goal. And again, John Jay being outshot by a wide margin, still looking for their first shot to find a space in between the pipes.
Yeah, and the Dolphins have won 7 straight games against the Bloodhounds since 2012, outscoring them 21-4. But this is a different and a better John Jay Bloodhound team, Joe, already clinching second place and playing the Dolphins even here so far, with 18 minutes remaining in the second half.
And I mentioned before that we can't understate the importance of the Dolphins picking up a goal and breaking that scoreless drought, but we can't underestimate the importance of defeating a John Jay Bloodhounds team that's 6-1 in the CUNYAC Conference as well. Not only are the Dolphins looking to carry some momentum into the CUNYAC tournament, but this win would be a big one in boosting their morale entering that tournament as well against a team that they may very well see again in tournament play. So this would undoubtedly be a big win for CSI as they also look to potentially pick up the 4 spot, though that hinges on the performance of the Baruch College Bearcats as well.
So the free kick played by the Dolphins as they try to play the ball down the field. It'll be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. So the ref is overruling the linesman, it looks like here. Actually, no, the official changing his mind, so it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins as the clock continues to run now. We're under 17 minutes remaining here in the second half. Fairs with the ball. Fairs out on the far sideline. Fairs now getting the ball out over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz looking for Arianas, but instead Faye is going to be there to steal the ball, and the Bloodhounds looking to counterattack quickly as Barabas comes off of his line quickly to knock the ball out of the line. Good decisive play that time to break up the John Jay counterattack.
And Barabbas just got there in time as John Jay was making a run toward that ball. It wasn't going to be easy for them to get a quality shot out of that one, but should they have been able to dribble past Barabbas, it may have been big trouble for the Dolphins as he would have been forced to scramble back into position, and now we await a ball to re-enter the field of play as it will be John Jay's possession.
So the Bloodhounds with possession deep inside Dolphin territory. They throw the ball in and work to build up their offensive attack once again. As that time Gilias tried to feed the ball down the far sideline. Instead, the Dolphins come away with the ball, and now it's going to be Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz rolled the ball into the center of the field, but no Dolphins there. And the ball's going to be played back towards the Dolphin side of the field, and we're going to have a whistle and another foul called on the play against Fay as Miguel Morales is down once again for the Dolphins. But he should be okay, and he's back up on his feet.
And it looked like it may have been another blow to the head there for a moment, but thankfully Morales able to get right back up to his feet. As, again, we've seen players go down in this game on several occasions, and that continues here into the second half with just over 15 minutes to go in half number 2.
Barabbas with the free kick. Now Lefkowitz looking to head the ball forward. He was looking towards Navarro, and Lefkowitz is going to be taken down from behind. Both teams still fighting for the ball, and Lefkowitz able to come away with it. Lefkowitz, a nice hustle play. He was looking to feed it to Navarro, but the Bloodhounds able to clear the ball away, and it now will be headed out over on the near sideline by Barabbas, and it'll be a throw-in quickly for the Bloodhounds as that's Fay with the ball. Fay getting the ball back to Barrentos. Barrentos looking to play it forward, but it's going to be knocked away by the Dolphin defense as Munasar has it. His pass forward is knocked away by Fairs, but he can't maintain possession as Bustilio has the ball now for the Bloodhounds as he's taken down by Navarro. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the play.
And that is foul number 29, 15 for the Bloodhounds, 14 for the Dolphins. The foul committed by Bryant Navarro and a free kick upcoming for John Jay. We saw the Dolphins take a free kick from a similar distance and put it into the penalty area. We'll see if John Jay can do the same. They will not.
Yeah, the Bloodhounds instead try to play the ball out over the near sidelines as that's Russo. Russo looking to play it inside, but the Dolphin defense able to come away with it as that's Condi. Condi looking to roll the ball forward. Dolphins looking to build up their attack now as he gets the ball back and feeds the ball down on the far sideline. A little bit of speed now for the Dolphins as they look to play that ball into the center, but the ball's going to be knocked away by the Dolphin defenses. Dolphins looking to put pressure on, and now Condi will pick up the foul deep inside the John Jay defensive zone.
So we'll head back the other way. It's now 15 fouls aside. Free kick for John Jay. Once again, still looking for their first shot on goal with just over 13 minutes to go here in regulation.
Ball is going to be played down now onto the foot of Barrentos. Barrentos turns and rolls the ball forward. And now Condi able to come away and steal the ball. Shadstein looking to put pressure on the Dolphin defense, and he does, forcing the Dolphins to play the ball out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in here for the Bloodhounds. Bloodhounds throw it in, and they get the ball up over to Bustillo. Bustillo looked to feed it to Barrentos, but the Dolphins come away with the steal. Lefkowitz with a nice ball down to Arianes. Arianes with some space. A nice move by Arianes. His shot is blocked away by Tala. Beautiful save that time. Arianes with space. Tala there to make the save. Dolphins look to continue to maintain pressure as that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. A big opportunity. Once again, the Dolphins denied. Fairs with the ball. Fairs looking to break inside the penalty area. He gets knocked down on the play. Nothing called. It'll be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in coming up here for the Dolphins. Miguel Morales with the ball. Passing it over to the far side now to Condi. Condi skying the ball up high in the center of the field, looking to get the ball into Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz taken down hard on the play, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called. You can hear the contact from over here on that one, Joe.
You could, Mike, as we'll get a look at that last sequence, which resulted in a quality opportunity for Mike Arianes there. A good ball leading Arianes into the penalty area. He then dribbled away around one marker, and that shot was saved nicely by the freshman goalkeeper for the Bloodhounds, Stephen Towler. He closed the gap between he and Arianes nicely, didn't give Mike much room to get that ball by him, and as a result, Arianes saw his shot saved, and that shot was taken from no more than maybe 7 or 8 feet away from Towler in net. As here's one more look at it, the ball was chipped ahead by Lefkowitz to Arianes. A very good ball to get him moving forward on the attack, and then Arianes again sees his shot saved, as also Towler did a nice job closing the 5-hole gap, as that one could have easily found its way through Towler's legs as well, should he not have closed his legs at the knees and prevented that ball from traveling through.
15, Joe Balella is the injury replacement for
the injured player for the Dolphins was Philip Lefkowitz, and the injury substitution is Joe Balella.
So Lefkowitz comes to the bench for the Dolphins, and he played very well in the second half.
He has, and that pass was just one example of his stellar play here in this game. And we've mentioned Lefkowitz as being a part of some very physical play so far here this season. We've seen him go down several times. It's actually how his season got off to its beginning. He entered the game and immediately found himself taken down hard as Mike Arianes takes the free kick for the Dolphins into the penalty area. It is blocked.
So now it's going to be the Dolphins with the ball. Miguel Morales looking to play the ball inside. He's looking for Lehman, but once again, Tala comes out and plays the ball.
It's been a very strong showing in goal for Stephen Towler, the freshman goalkeeper for the Bloodhounds. Has done a great job against a lot of pressure from the Dolphins, especially in the second half, much more so in the second half than in the first. The Dolphins still only with 6 shots on goal, but Towler has been in the middle of many plays where he's been forced to snag the ball out of the air on potential goal-scoring opportunities.
Big announcement, Joe. John Jay with a goal late in the first half. They lead Lehman College 1-0, and that could set up that winner-take-all match against CSI this Saturday.
And that should be a very exciting matchup, as we'll see the Bloodhounds of John Jay take on the Dolphins of CSI on the women's side as well after this game here today. Unfortunately, that will be a road game for the Dolphins, as that one is put in toward goal and over the back of the net. We'll have a pair of substitutions entering at the horn, and it's Philip Lefkowitz immediately re-entering for the Dolphins after leaving the game due to injury. And for the Bloodhounds, it will be Bryant Silva. So it's Lefkowitz for Bryant Navarro on the Dolphins side, and Silva for Steven Sanchez on the Bloodhound side.
So, you know, the Dolphins have had a couple of opportunities here, Joe, in the second half, and they're doing a nice job pressing the issue, but we're still scoreless as the clock now goes under 10 minutes remaining here in the game. Fairs with the ball. Fairs to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz, a nice ball for Arianis. Arianis, one man to beat, but can't do it, and the ball's going to get played back out to Lefkowitz on the near side of the field. Arianis looked to feed the ball inside. He was looking to get the ball to Navarro, but Bloodhound's able to come away with the ball, but not clear. Lehman feeding it over to Nika. Nika to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz with a little bit of room. He rolls it in front towards Nika, but not a lot on it. And Tal able to come out and make the play on the ball for the Bloodhounds.
And there was a small opening there to get the ball over to Danny Nika as the Dolphins force yet another turnover just outside the penalty area, and they're attacking third, but the Bloodhounds able to regain possession back.
Now the ball's going to get played down toward the center of the field as the shots on goal. 7-0, Joe. The Bloodhounds not credited with a shot on goal. I don't know that the flow of play is representative in that number there, Joe.
No, the Bloodhounds have had some attacking pressure on the Dolphins and have had opportunities, shots that just went wide and just missed being on goal for the Dolphins. Again, though, with 8 shots on goal, they've taken well more than that. 18 shots, though, 8 out of 18 on goal. Not a very poor number as we saw against Lehman College, 5 out of 22 on goal for the Dolphins in that game.
So the ball is going to be played by Fairs. Fairs is going to roll the ball back, and that's going to be stolen as Villamar not able to make the breakout pass, but the Dolphins able to recover, and now it's Condi on the far side of the field getting it up to Nika. Nika trying to work his way past 3 Bloodhound defenders. He gets the ball out on the sideline now over to Navarro, but the pass is going to be knocked away, and now it's going to be Fairs playing the ball back towards midfield. Quintero regains possession all the way on the far side of the field now for the Dolphins. Quintero looking to work his way inside. He gets the ball back. Now a winding pass, looking to get the ball into Arianis, and that time Tala loses possession. Fairs turns and shoots. That's going to be blocked away, so nearly an error by the freshman goalie, but Dolphins not able to capitalize.
And that was the first big mistake for Steven Taller in goal in this game, just unable to secure that ball, and Mike Arianis did a good job of continuing to battle for possession.
Nika fight getting it to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz over to Arianis. Arianis' shot is off the outside of the post and bounces wide. Huge opportunity that time for Arianis, who was looking for his second goal of the year and his second career goal. Instead, it ricochets off the post. Tough break that time for the Dolphins as they get the ball in quickly, and Faye is there to head the ball away. Big opportunity there for the Dolphins, something they really needed, as now it's Faye with the ball. Faye gets tackled by Condi, but able to regain possession, and now the Bloodhounds looking to counterattack. Shadstein looking to work against Quintero. He steps inside, gets the ball back up over to Faye. Now they work the ball up over to Haddad, but a beautiful tackle that time by Miguel Morales. Play really opening up here in the last minute. Nika now to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz flying down the far sideline. Lefkowitz trying to work his way past the defense. He's unable to do so, but comes away with possession of the ball. Now the shot goes over the top. Tough shot that time as the Dolphins give away a possession, and it'll be a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Bloodhounds. Let's see which replay we're going to have first. It's the Ariana shot, and that actually was deflected by Tala, and he forced that ball wide. Beautiful save that time by the freshman.
Another great play there by Steven Taller, and great passing by the Dolphins there to set up Mike Arianis as they move the ball across nearly the entirety of the penalty area to get Mike Arianis that shot. And then following that shot attempt by Arianis, there was another great opportunity for the Bloodhounds at the other end as well. And John Jay came up empty thanks to a great sliding tackle and a block of a potential shot by Miguel Morales. A strong defensive play there by Morales, keeping this game scoreless potentially, as it was going to be a very high-quality scoring opportunity for John Jay should Morales have not blocked that shot.
And we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Bloodhounds once again, as the Dolphins will play the ball inside of 6 minutes remaining in regulation, and we remain scoreless. Free kick taken by the Dolphins. Once again, Lehman putting it all the way into the box. It comes down, but Ariana's not able to make a play on it. A couple of very dangerous balls played by Ryan Lehman that created a couple of huge scoring opportunities, but the Dolphins unable to capitalize.
And as we took a look at that last replay, Logan Tassin entered the game for the Dolphins. We also have a look upcoming at the John Jay opportunity. We'll have that for you in just a few moments as the Bloodhounds prepare to take a free kick here. And we will get a look at that replay of the opportunity for John Jay. They move the ball nicely across the penalty area as well, and that's Miguel Morales coming in with the sliding tackle to prevent a shot taken by the Bloodhounds, who are still looking for their first shot on goal.
And now they get the ball inside looking for Shadstein. The ball's going to be chipped away, and now it'll be played by the Dolphins. Back in net, and once again, Joe, for the Bloodhounds, Fay right in the middle of that offensive attack. He set it up once again, but once again, it was that beautiful defensive play by Miguel Morales that broke up that John Jay opportunity.
And it was Fay who made a great pass off of the back heel earlier there. He did a nice job continuing to swing the ball across the penalty area and finding a man on the outside. I believe that was Ali Jaheen who wound up with the ball, but Miguel Morales did a great job of running across the penalty area, really had to cover two attackers on that sequence, and with the sliding tackle and block of a potential shot, he keeps this game scoreless as that one is volleyed in the penalty area toward goal, and I think that will go down as the first shot on goal of the game for the Bloodhounds. So John Jay is finally in the shots on goal column as that one's lofted out toward midfield. Possession gained by Mike Arianis, who was fouled.
Yeah, so it's going to be a foul called on the Bloodhounds as Munasaw will pick up the foul, and the Dolphins will have the free kick with just under 4 minutes remaining. And the Dolphins are going to send Lehman to take it, and he's been very effective with those free kicks here this afternoon from way back. Lehman, a long, high ball, looking to get the ball over to Navarro. Now it's Arianis. Arianis on the near sideline. Has the ball knocked away, but he's able to maintain possession and looking to work his way down the near sidelines. And we're going to have a whistle, and it's going to be another throw in here for the Dolphins as the clock continues to wind down with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second half. Throw in inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called, and that will be on Tassin, who just checked into the game for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins have an opportunity deep inside the Bloodhound territory, but they pick up a foul, and it'll be a free kick coming here for John Jay. That's this game getting dangerously close to overtime, Joe.
And it's been a very entertaining game. It was an entertaining first half, but that's been far exceeded by the last 10 minutes of play here in the second half. Both teams going back and forth with quality chances toward goal and on goal late in the second half. Just 2.5 minutes to go before we see some extra time.
So the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Bloodhounds really playing for pride here, Joe. They can't go further up in the standings, and they can't go further down. They're locked into the number 2 seed. But they're scoreless here as the clock continues to wind down. Just over 2 minutes remaining, and now it'll be the Bloodhounds deep inside Dolphin territory for the throw-in.
And that one's cleared away. You mentioned this could be the Bloodhounds playing for pride as they have secured their spot atop the CUNYAC Conference in the second slot, I should say. But this could very well be a matchup that we see in the CUNYAC tournament as well. So neither team wants to give away this victory.
A long, high ball into the box and goes wide of the net and out of bounds. So it'll be a free kick opportunity. But once again, it'll be another substitution here for the Dolphins.
And from our angle there, it looks like that one might be trouble for just a moment as our vantage point had us with the perception that that one might be traveling right over Barabbas and into the back of the net. But it goes well wide. Not a great opportunity there for the Bloodhounds. The Dolphins now have possession, looking to cross midfield with just over a minute to play.
Now it's Faz with the ball. Faz, long pass, but it's knocked away nicely by the Bloodhound defense, and we're inside the final minute remaining. Now it's Tassin with the ball for the Dolphins. Tassin stripped away beautifully that time by Barrentos. Marantosa played very well for the Bloodhounds all day long. But now it's Lefkowitz with the steal. Lefkowitz rolling it forward. He was looking for Arianis, but it's knocked away, and now played by Nika. Nika over to Faz. Faz lets the ball through, and now it's going to be Fedorzi back to Faz with 35 seconds remaining. Faz pass is going to go through everybody and out of bounds, so it should be that's going to be a corner kick for the Dolphins. I don't know about that one, Joe.
And immediately, Ollie Faz was signaling that ball was deflected, as we have some very unhappy benches on both sides in this game. And now the official may be issuing a yellow card. He will, as Mike Arianis looked to retrieve that ball, and Stephen Fowler would not allow him to do so. I think Fowler thought a goal kick was upcoming, but he chased down Arianis and tried to push him away from the ball. So Fowler issued the yellow card. That's the 5th yellow card issued in this game. The clock is stopped at 17 seconds. Corner kick upcoming for the Dolphins.
So the Dolphins will have an opportunity to take that corner kick. I can't see who's taking it, as it's played all the way across to the far side of the field and wide. Now it's going to go for the shot now by Lehman. We'll go over the top, and that's going to do it, Joe. We're going to go to extra time. Scoreless here between the Bloodhounds and the Dolphins, so we'll have a 5-minute break. Why don't we step aside for a minute and get you ready for extra time, as the College of Staten Island and the Bloodhounds will go into extra time scoreless, as you're watching men's soccer coverage exclusively right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
We're back here getting ready for the start of extra time. The College of Staten Island and John Jay scoreless here. And, Joe, we've seen a little bit of everything here today except the goal.
We have, and the Dolphins once again with a shot margin over the opposition, this time of 14. In the last game against Lehman College, I believe they may have outshot them by exactly 14 as well, but it's the shots that find the back of the net that count. The Dolphins have been unable to do so. 8 of their 21 shots on goal in this game. For John Jay, only 1 of their 7 shots on goal. And for the Dolphins, again, it hasn't been for a lack of opportunities, but simply a lack of execution on the opportunities they've had. The big chance, of course, came late in that second half, maybe about 10 minutes to go or so. Mike Arianis got a good look at goal, shot it across the goal mouth. You said that you thought the goalkeeper, Stephen Taller, did get a hand on it. It certainly appeared as if he may have, and that shot was deflected by Taller, then off of the far post on the opposite side from which Arianis took the shot. That was easily the best chance for the Dolphins. The best chance for the Bloodhounds came shortly thereafter on the counterattack as they headed back the other way and found one of their players. I believe that was number 20, Ali Jaheen, who ended up with possession of the ball, but a great sliding tackle by Miguel Morales to dispossess him and prevent any opportunity for a shot by the Bloodhounds. That kept them off the scoreboard late in the second half, and we find ourselves scoreless now entering extra time.
Yeah, and, a lot of fouls in this game and a lot of yellow cards, and, a couple of yellows for the Dolphins, 4 yellow cards for the Bloodhounds. 10 minutes of extra time here with the Dolphins going right to left. If there's no goals scored, they'll switch sides and play another 10 minutes up to a maximum of 20. But a single goal, a golden goal, Joe, could end the game.
And we've mentioned again that these two teams may very well see each other again in CUNYAC tournament play. And you also mentioned John Jay perhaps playing for pride in this one as they again have secured the second spot in the CUNYAC conference. So the Dolphins here again want to pick up a win against the conference foe, looking for their 5th conference victory of the season, their 10th victory overall. They'll need to break that scoreless streak in order to do so. It's been quite a while since the Dolphins' last goal. You mentioned that the last Dolphins goal came in the second half of a conference victory over Hunter College. Since then, they've played in a scoreless tie with Stevens Institute and dropped a conference game 1-0 this past weekend against the Lightning of Lehman College. So in order to pick up the victory here this afternoon against John Jay, another conference foe, the Dolphins will have to break that scoreless streak.
Yeah, and, Joe, you go and you look at this CUNYAC standing, and we're going to assume for right now that Hunter College is going to have the tiebreaker with Medgar Evers. I should know that, but I apologize, I don't. They do have the tiebreaker. So the final 6 teams are locked in, Joe. And, based on the soccer that we've seen this year, I don't think that other than you take the top 2 teams that have played well, especially Lehman, other than that, I mean, you look at these games almost as a toss-up.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts here in the CUNYAC conference for the men, especially those 4 teams you mentioned, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 spots. We'll see how it plays out. The Dolphins, though, still have this final regular season CUNYAC game against the Bloodhounds undecided as we begin extra time scoreless.
So here we go as Lehman gets the ball back to Condi, and both teams will look for an opportunity, and the pressure on both sides because both goalies know that a single goal will end this contest. Nika with the ball. Nika down the far side. Nika trying to push the ball through in front. Instead, it's going to be knocked away and played up the far sideline here by the Bloodhounds. Fay with the ball. Rolling the ball back, but it's going to be off the foot of Jaheen, and the Dolphins able to come away with possession of the ball. Nika on the far sidelines. Rolls it in the center of the field now to Fedorzi. Fedorzi Back out on the far sideline to Nika. Nika looking to put the ball in front. He was looking for Tassin, but the ball goes off his foot and is going to be played by Faye as the Bloodhounds look to counterattack quickly as that's Haddad. Haddad, back heel to Faye. Faye with some speed up the near sidelines. Faye looking to work his way inside of one defender, but coming over is the Dolphin defense to knock the ball away out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in here for the Bloodhounds just over 1 minute and 15 seconds into this overtime period.
And something I noticed there, Mike, is Balin Barabas has been forced to shield his eyes from the sun now with the angle of the sun over the trees behind us. He is looking directly into the sun with any shot taken towards him in this goal. So a disadvantage here to start overtime for the Dolphins in goal in that respect. We'll see if it plays a role in any shots taken toward goal by the Bloodhounds as that ball is being played along the near sideline, now over the touchline and out of play. Throw-in for John Jay.
So the ball will go out of bounds, and the Bloodhounds with another opportunity to throw the ball in as we approach 2 minutes into overtime, and Nicholas Towler will throw the ball in to Faye. Faye just outside the penalty area on the near side. Faye looks to turn inside, but instead the ball's going to be knocked away defensively by Villamar. Arianis on the near side. Arianis, a nice move to get past a couple of defenders and gets the ball up to Tassin. Tassin, a lot of contact on the play. He was looking for a foul, but none will be called.
That's one of many occasions in this game where that's been the case. A lot of fouls called, but both benches at times have been unhappy with fouls not called, including a couple of key potential fouls that occurred in the penalty area at both ends of the pitch.
Tal clears the ball down. The Dolphins play it right back in to Arianis. Arianis looking to work against the Bloodhound defender, and he'll get called for the foul, so it'll be a free kick here for the Bloodhounds. 0-0 the score. We're in the first overtime, 19-18 the foul totals, Joe, as the Dolphins take the lead by 1.
And the foul total just continues to climb. There really hasn't been any stoppage to the fouls committed by these two teams as another yellow card has been issued. There haven't also, though, been many stoppages of the clock as a result of fouls that have really caused injured players at times, and players have been down several times in this game. Fortunately, that's not the case here as play resumes. Dolphins with possession.
So Arianis and Lehman now with yellows for the Dolphins. The Dolphin bench picked up a yellow as well as Tassin is able to get past one defender. He kicks the ball past the goalie, but a nice defensive play by the Bloodhounds to knock it away. And here comes Lefkowitz once again. Big opportunity that time for Logan Tassin. Nice defensive play by the Bloodhounds to keep this score level.
And the Bloodhounds did a nice job there supporting their goalkeeper. Fowler couldn't handle that ball cleanly, but Bloodhounds surrounding Tassin.
Long throw in and a couple of headers across, and it came onto the head. I believe that was Lehman with a lot of room, Joe, but could not get the ball on net.
And that absolutely was a long throw. And I didn't quite see that coming, Mike, as that ball was thrown at least 2/3 of the way across the penalty area and wound up on the head of a Dolphins player who then headed it on goal. We'll get another look at that as in just a moment we'll have that replay for you. Goal kick upcoming for the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, so Tallow will take the free kick here as we're inside 6 minutes to go. Here's the throw-in for the Dolphins as the long throw-in comes into the center of the net. It was headed over, I believe that was Nika that headed the ball across over to Lehman, but Lehman could not put the ball on net. The ball's going to go out of bounds over the near sidelines, and it will be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. So a big opportunity there for the Dolphins, Joe, but they just couldn't get the header on net.
And that's one of several big opportunities for the Dolphins since the beginning of the second half, and they just haven't been able to find the back of the net to this point. You have to wonder if that's starting to get in their heads a bit.
Yeah, Arianis with the ball. The Dolphins have not scored in 4 games since the late in the second half when Brenly Salas added that insurance goal against Hunter College to give the Dolphins a 3-1 victory. And, Joe, the Dolphins haven't scored since.
And, again, contact to the head of a Dolphins players. It looks like Wilson Quintero once again took a shot to the head, but he's okay and back up on his feet. Free kick for the Dolphins following the foul call.
So it's going to be a free kick for the Dolphins, and Barabas will come up to take that free kick for CSI. Long ball played up toward the top of the penalty area. Bloodhounds able to knock the ball away and clear it out over to the near sideline. Haddad with the ball. Haddad working against Villamar. Villamar steps in and knocks the ball away, but it'll be a throw-in here for the Bloodhounds. Long throw-in looking for Fay. Fay surrounded by a couple of Dolphins, but able to backheel the ball up over to Haddad. Haddad looked to chip the ball forward, but no blue jerseys there as Barabas will make the play for the Dolphins. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in this first period of extra time. We're scoreless as Fedorzi with a long ball up to Nika. Nika streaky down the sideline. He looks to put the ball in play. Nice play that time by Danny, and he'll draw the corner kick, and it looks like Lefkowitz will go over and take the corner kick here for the Dolphins.
And Nika attempted to cross that ball into the penalty area, blocked away nicely, but as a result, the Bloodhounds do concede the corner. And it looks like you're right, Mike. It will be Philip Lefkowitz to take that corner kick just under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first period of overtime.
So Lefkowitz, as the players line up in the box and fight for position, Dolphins leaving 3 players outside the box as that ball went over everybody's head, but no Dolphin there to play it, and the Bloodhounds able to clear it once again. The Bloodhounds fortunate on that play, Joe, but the Dolphins not there to take advantage of it.
And that one was punched up in the air by Steven Towler, who may have even set it up on a tee for a Dolphin to potentially volley that ball or at least head an attempt towards goal, but unfortunately for CSI, there was no one there, and that ball was cleared a little bit away before ultimately being cleared completely out of danger by the Bloodhounds. They now have possession along the near sideline.
Fay fighting for possession with Arianis. Fay comes away with the ball and plays the ball back up over to Tala, and he now feeds the ball up over to Haddad. Haddad with some speed down the near sidelines. Ball remains in play, and a nice defensive play by the Dolphins to knock the ball away and clear it up the near sideline, but instead we're going to have a whistle on the play, and it will be a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Dolphins.
And once again, that was Miguel Morales. It was a very strong play defensively as we get another look at that last attempt toward goal on the corner kick. No Dolphin made contact with that ball after the corner kick was taken, but it was Steven Towler who punched it up in the air and set himself up for some danger, though he may have even prevented that ball from curving back in towards goal by punching it away. So really impossible to tell whether or not that was the best play. Either way, the Dolphins come up empty.
Arianis, nice pass up over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz now working on the near side. Lefkowitz tried to get his way through the defense, but that time Brian Silva was able to step up and shield Lefkowitz off the ball, and the ball will end up being a foul called, I believe, on the Dolphins, and it will be a free kick coming up here for the Bloodhounds as we're inside at 90 seconds remaining in this first overtime period. And boy, oh boy, Joe, another yellow card caution shown to the Dolphin bench, the second one of the afternoon.
And the referee has not been shy about handing out yellow cards, in some case clearly warranted, and others, well, the benches may disagree, but with 1:23 left on the clock here in overtime, the clock is stopped. The foul was called on Philip Lefkowitz, and the free kick taken by the goalkeeper, Towler.
So Fedorzi steps up to head that ball forward, and now it's Nika looking to get the attack going for the Dolphins. Nika rolling the ball forward. He gets the ball to Fedorzi. Wide open in front with a wide open net is Philip Lefkowitz, but he cannot put the ball on net. You don't get many better opportunities than that, Joe.
And a great ball there to set up Lefkowitz in front. A pair of Dolphins in position to head that ball home. And there may have even been a chance to volley that ball, knock it down with your chest and shoot. But the header also a wide open opportunity. And unfortunately, it went wide of that outside post. We'll get another look at it in just a few moments with a goal kick upcoming for John Jay. Substitutions enter for the Bloodhounds as well. One of those being number 24 for John Jay. That's Oscar Barrientos. A second player did enter the game as well. It was number 22, Jonathan Robles.
So 30 seconds remaining here in the first period of extra time. The Dolphins with a lot of opportunities, but not able to close the deal with a goal. And now it's the Bloodhounds trying to get one last rush at goal. Instead, it's going to be knocked away defensively by the Dolphins, and now played up on the near sideline to Arianis with 10 seconds. Arianis, a long ball down to Nika. Nika looking to chip the ball in front, but it's going to be played there by Towler, and that's going to do it, Joe. 100 minutes in the books. We're going to head to the second extra time period, and we remain scoreless. But boy, oh boy, did the Dolphins have an opportunity to close this one out in the 99th minute.
They absolutely did, Mike, and it's at a point right now as we get a look at that opportunity for the Dolphins. Once again, a good ball across by Vasil Fedorci, and that is Philip Lefkowitz with an opportunity to end this game coming up empty wide of that outside post. But as I was saying, Mike, we're at a point now where if the Dolphins fail to pick up a victory in this game, they have to be very disappointed with the outcome. They have had so many chances to put that go-ahead goal on the scoreboard and have failed to do so.
And, Joe, you mentioned it a couple of times in the broadcast, but, scoring goals, it can be a habit, and the Dolphins have gotten into the habit of not scoring goals.
And it looks like there's a dispute out there on the field. The two teams appear ready to play, and the official may have wanted to put some time on the clock, Mike. But, again, I mentioned the disappointment the Dolphins, in all likelihood, will feel should they not come away with the victory in this game. And it's been a very entertaining game. For the spectators here, a great game. But if you're the Dolphins, you absolutely want to come away with this one. And if you're John Jay, the way this game has gone, and you were able to pick up the victory in this game, being outshot in terms of shots on goal 8-1 and outshot overall 23-7, you'd have to be pretty pleased with still being able to pull out the win with the numbers dictating that the result likely should have gone the other way.
Yeah, and Joe, you get toward the later stages of the second half and in that first overtime, and boy, the Dolphins have had opportunity after opportunity, but they've just gone so cold, and they just have not been able to get that goal. As now this is 3 90-minute games that they haven't scored it, and now they're looking to get a goal in the second period of extra time here in this game. Lefkowitz with the ball. Lefkowitz, a long pass across over on the far sidelines, and here come the Dolphins looking to build up their offensive attack. Lefkowitz in the center of the field with a little bit of space. Lefkowitz, though, can't play the ball forward as Barantos is able to knock the ball away, and here come the Bloodhounds. Fay with a little bit of space. Fay looking to work against Miguel Morales. He rolls the ball back. The ball's going to be sent across, but nobody there, and an easy play by Barabbas to play the ball away. A lot of room in the center of the field for the Dolphins to bring the ball up as that's Quintero. Now Lehman. Lehman getting the ball now to Fedorci as he approaches the midfield line. 10 of the 11 Bloodhound players on the defensive side of the field. Ball looked to be worked forward, but the Bloodhounds able to come away and knock the ball away once again. They look to play the ball, but a nice play by Lefkowitz to stop that breakout pass, and now a long ball down the far sidelines looking for Fay. Barabbas comes all the way out of his net to head the ball out of bounds over the far sidelines, and the Bloodhounds will have to come forward and throw the ball in.
Well, you mentioned that Brenny Salas scored the last Dolphins goal. He's getting prepared to check into the game for CSI. He will see his first action of the game here in the second overtime once he does check in.
So the Bloodhounds throw the ball in. They get the ball to Fay. Fay looking to work against Morales. He chips the ball across the goal, but once again, no Bloodhounds there. So the Dolphins able to come away with possession. Nika with a run through half the field, but loses possession of the ball. And the Bloodhounds able to come away with it as that's Bastilio with the ball. His pass up the near sidelines will go out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Dolphins. But first, we're going to have a couple of substitutions for the Dolphins and one for the Bloodhounds as well.
It's Salas and Sosa entering for the Dolphins, and I believe entering for the Bloodhounds was Nader Munasar.
So Munasar will check into the game. Here we place Ali Jajin, and now it's Lehman with the ball. Lehman, a nice play through as the Dolphins look to attack quickly, and the ball's rolled right in front. But the Dolphins unable to get a foot on the ball as the Dolphins with a couple of substitutes, and they both figured on the play early. Dolphins looked very dangerous on the play, but could not get the ball on net, and we remain scoreless.
That attack developed very quickly, and the ball wound up in a very dangerous position in front, but the Bloodhounds able to clear it away quickly and now move forward on the attack themselves.
Fay with the ball. Fay a pass on the near sidelines. He's looking for Jonathan Robles. Robles rolls the ball in front, but now Barabas is going to play the ball all the way down the near sidelines for the Dolphins. Aguiles getting the ball into Bastilio. Bastilio's pass is knocked away by Condi, and now the Dolphins come away with possession of the ball as that's Salas. Lehman will be taken down, and it'll be a free kick. And as the Dolphins play the ball in quickly. Nika with the ball. Nika pass down the far sidelines is knocked away, and it's going to be cleared out now defensively by Barrentos. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be another throw in here. Clock continuing to wind down, under 6 minutes remaining here in the final extra time period. Bloodhounds put the ball in play. That's Bastilio. Bastilio, a long ball down the far sidelines. It goes over the head of Villamar, and the Bloodhounds have possession. Bloodhounds looking to work the ball in across, and we're going to have a whistle on the play. And I believe we have an offsides on the play.
Either that or the ball was ruled to have gone over the touchline on the attempted cross. Either way, it looks like a goal kick is upcoming for the Dolphins. Under 5.5 minutes to go here in the second extra time period.
So the long play into the center of the midfield is going to be played by Fedorzi. Fedorzi heads the ball forward. He was looking to get the ball to Sosa, but now the Bloodhounds come away with it. Not sure what they were thinking there as they chip the ball on goal, but an easy play that time for Barabas. Inside of 5 minutes remaining here in the final period of extra time. Both teams looking for that golden goal to victory. Long pass by Robles. Robles' pass is going to be knocked away, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity now for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins will have the free kick here in their final conference game of the season. Dolphins coming in with a record of 4-3, as now it's going to be played down the far sideline, but Dolphins pass in front is going to be knocked out of bounds, but the Bloodhounds will give away a throw-in, as we're going to have a couple of substitutions for each team.
It's Curtis Harbors wearing number 10 entering for the Bloodhounds, and seeing his first action of the day for the Dolphins is number 8, Chris Lee. Lee replaces Danny Nika for the Dolphins, and Harbors will replace James Haddad for the Bloodhounds. So a single substitution for each side as the clock winds down to 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
Dolphins get the ball in play and now roll it back as they look to build up the attack from the far side of the field. Fedorzi getting the ball up over to Sosa. Sosa tried to work the ball through, but is unable to do so as Fay comes away with the steal. A couple of players collide, and the Dolphins come away with the ball, but lose possession now to Fay. Fay playing the ball down the far sidelines. He's looking for Haddad, but Villamar comes over to knock the ball away, but the Dolphins unable to keep the ball from going over the goal line and give up a corner kick here, Joe, inside of 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game.
There has been much in terms of opportunities here in the second half of extra time, but an opportunity is upcoming here for the Bloodhounds on this corner kick. It will be their third of the game. Now make that their fourth. Both sides with 4 corner kicks, but they roll the ball in.
Bloodhounds choose to take a short corner kick and then play it into the center of the field, but the Dolphins able to knock it away as that ball's going to get played back inside that time for the Bloodhounds by Barrentos, but the Bloodhounds in an offside position, so that'll make it a free kick now for the Dolphins. Condi with the ball. Condi rolling it up over to Lehman. Lehman looking to work past the Bloodhound defender. We're going to have a whistle and a foul called, so the Dolphins will look to play the ball in quickly. As that's Quintero with the ball, feeding it to Fedorzi. Fedorzi playing the ball down on the far side of the field, and now the Dolphins will work the ball back to midfield and look to build up the attack. Lehman, now Miguel Morales. Miguel Morales look to play the ball forward, but the Dolphins playing in midfield, and the clock continuing to wind now inside of 2 minutes remaining in the game. Abdallah with the ball. Abdallah looking to force the ball through to Lee. Lee trying to turn, but the ball's going to be knocked and kept in play now by Lee. Lee turning, looking to put the ball in front, but the Bloodhound defense there to knock the ball away once again. But the ball bouncing around, and now it's Condi. Condi turns and shoots, but that ball will go wide past the far post. So Condi able to scoop up the loose ball and put it towards goal, Joe, but not get it on net. So it'll be a free kick here for the Bloodhounds as we're inside the final 80 seconds remaining here in the game.
And not a bad shot given the circumstances by Condi. A trio of Bloodhounds were getting ready to challenge him as there's a look at that shot once again wide of the far post. And the Dolphins are about to run out of time here as we approach 1 minute remaining in the second extra time.
And a beautiful through ball through, and Barabbas has to come out quickly as Jonathan Robles was charging in on the play. And a nice play by Barabbas to knock it away, but the Bloodhounds will get to throw it in as it'll be Aguilez to throw the ball in with 50 seconds remaining. Aguilez looking to get the ball into Fay. Instead, it's going to be headed away by the Dolphins defense, and they look to bring the ball up the near sidelines, and we're going to have a whistle, and that's going to be a foul called on the Bloodhounds inside of 35 seconds remaining as the clock will stop once again with 33 seconds remaining in the game. Looks like there's a Dolphin player down, a Bloodhound player down on the field with 33 seconds remaining in the game. So we'll have a stoppage in play. As I believe that was Fay that was down on the pitch, Joe, but he's okay, and he's played a great game today for John Jay.
He has, and he gets up quickly, thankfully, one of many players to go down in this game as we're under 30 seconds to go here in the second extra time.
Villamar with the ball. Villamar turns and plays the ball towards midfield as the Dolphins trying to see if they can get a possession for a final rush. Instead, it looks like the Bloodhounds that might have that opportunity. Ball played around in midfield. 8 seconds remaining. Dolphins roll the ball back defensively to Morales. He'll turn and play the ball down the field, but that's going to do it for the third consecutive game. And 2 times in the last 3, Joe, the Dolphins play to a 0-0 tie.
Yeah, you don't ever like to lose games, but you certainly don't want to tie these games if that's continuing such a long scoreless drought. You mentioned a scoreless tie against Stevens in the pregame, a 1-0 loss at the hands of the Lightning of Lehman College, and now once again the Dolphins fail to find their way on the scoreboard. A scoreless tie against conference foe John Jay, and the Dolphins now, as a result, will wrap up their conference season with a record of 4-3-1.
And if Baruch College just needs a tie or a win now against York College, and they will finish as the number 4 seed. And, you know, the way that York has been struggling, it would probably take York's best effort of the season, Joe, to even play with Baruch here tonight.
Yeah, we mentioned both during the pregame and at halftime that York is yet to pick up a victory in conference so far this season, so it certainly appears as if the Dolphins will drop down to the 5th spot in the CUNYAC conference standings, with Baruch moving up into the 4th spot. However, that is yet to be decided. The game that we mentioned between the Cardinals and the Bearcats takes place at 6 p.m.
So the Dolphins will finish off the regular season currently in 4th place, but with a chance to drop down to 5th. If Baruch wins or ties this afternoon, the Dolphins will play in the CUNYAC tournament on October 25th in the quarterfinal round. We'll have an update for you as we'll be back this Saturday afternoon to bring you the Dolphins' final regular season game of the year. That'll be a non-conference game against Arcadia University. The last score we had on the women's side, John Jay was winning that game 1-0, and that would set up a winner-take-all match this Saturday afternoon at Randall's Island. So a lot of good soccer, a good soccer game here today, but for the third consecutive game, the Dolphins find themselves shut out as they play to a 0-0 tie here this afternoon. So for Joe Foreman, this is Mike Babuski saying so long and thanks for watching. Don't forget to join us for our next soccer broadcast, which will take place this Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock, 11:45 pregame show as the men's team tries to get back on the scoreboard and get back into the winning column as they will face Arcadia University with a game that starts at 12 o'clock. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll see you Saturday.
Huh?